You know what, Skits? I think I'm gonna rename it the Godless Coffee. Godless Coffee Monday. Is that what I should call it?
You know what, Skits? I think I'm gonna
One
rename
day
it.
I will learn to turn down my. How's everybody doing? It's Monday night. Is everyone ready to go sewing? Let me, boomer. I was raised by boomers. There we go. How's it going? How's it going? How's everybody doing? Ooh, I like that godless coffee and conversation. I like that. I don't think anyone wants to see that I'm watching Adventure Time. How's it going? How's everybody? How's your Memorial Day? If anyone wants to hop in, you're more than invited. Let me tool around really quick. I should call it Godless Coffee. Awesomeness. You know, I was having Mark Short and Gilroy pointed out I should take time with my blind stitcher because that thing is a professional piece of equipment and I don't want to destroy it. And I may or may not have destroyed a few antiques in my day. Yikes. Well, that's a positive thing though, Skits. That's awesome. I've been working all day at Memorial Day events. Back when I was a kid, we used to follow the wall, the replica of the Vietnam Wall when it would come around in the good old days. Hey, how's it going?
It is going.
The weather is so strange here. It doesn't know if it wants to be hot. I'm wearing shorts and a vest.
I have my top I finished yesterday.
Yay! Hold on, I'll make you big. Oop. Yay! Sewing.
And I did this. Oh, that my I knew should have brought a stool so I could stand up taller. My strawberry bear skirt is also done. This doesn't match, I know, but they just look. I did stiffs.
I know that I moved one of my cameras to show all the stuff I've been doing lately. Neighbors had a cookout. I ate a bunch of barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs, took a bunch home too, drank a bunch of. That's a party. Now that's a party.
Oh, barbecue.
I do. I definitely miss that. We used to party hard here, and people don't party like they used to around here. So we don't get that holiday food like we used to.
Is that because of dumb laws or just people not being neighborly anymore?
I think it's all of the above. Also, like, yeah, it's people not being neighborly anymore, but it's also, I don't know. We have a lot of people that have moved in, and the younger generation are. I, I'm not an ageist, okay. Before I go, let me get my disclaimer because I'm gonna go off in a minute because um, how do you feel about drama channels, Phoenix?
I go back and forth, and I was in a binging them for a while, and recently I've been taking a break, so I don't really know about this whole Illuminati whatever happened with that creator and
I
oh Trisha
and
Paytas. I've not caught up with what's gone on in the world of YouTube's recently. No.
she makes my brain hurt. And you know it's so funny? Anyone who lives in LA, if you haven't seen her, you don't drive around LA because the YouTube generation has 15 people with them in cameras. I've seen her at least twice. You know what's so sad in my day? Like you had the probability of seeing someone famous. Like I've seen Richard Dreyfuss. I've seen like Oscar. I've seen Tom Cruise in person. Halle Berry. These kids get to see Patricia. I can't even say her name. Patatas.
Trisha Paytas.
I don't know why I want to say patatas.
I got nothing.
I feel sorry for these kids.
Well,
Started by
they got a baby now.
oh man, Skits. Hop in, Skits. Because you're the humanitarian. Started by
Oh,
putting up flags at the cemetery, then laying a bunch of reefs ceremony, prepared traditional meals of beans and weenies. A couple of speeches ended by taking down all aforementioned flags. You bring me back. When I was a kid, we used to do that every year. Every year. I can't even. We at the cemetery up by my house, they have Military Hill. I can't even go over there without crying.
oh, like a VA cemetery.
Well, a lot of people served in World War One, Two, Vietnam, and Korea are buried in that, and they dedicated the basically when you drive in, the entire middle of the hill is dedicated to people who served. Oh, same Skits. Do you know what's so funny? And Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace makes me cry. I will be like, I'm not crying as I'm like puffy faced
Oh,
every time.
well, I don't know. So Ave Maria doesn't do it either.
Yeah, let's be real though. Ave Maria makes me cry, but like, um, Carmen. Have you ever seen Carmen?
I don't think
Carmen makes
so.
me cry. The da-na,
Oh,
da,
yes,
da,
I did. Yes, I saw it in
da-na-na-na.
Toronto.
Yeah. Hey, Alibaba, how's it going? That's awesome, Skits. That's awesome. Yo, Gilroy, I got to see Stevie Wonder perform at the World Series, and that was an amazing, amazing thing. Okay, so before we get too far and I go off about
Drama
how
channels.
well I went back and forth. I did stuff today. I have a life, and I watched a 9-hour stream back and forth today. And spoiler, they never end well. This program is intended for entertainment purposes only, and the content is not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by Godless Sewing and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every human being on the planet. And if you don't like that, we have exits on both sides. If you speak Spanish, that's a izquierda and derecha. Back to you, Phoenix. Oh, and the Las Vegas. Oh, are they up 5 or 4?
Oh.
That's disclaimer and sports desk all in one.
And back to you for the weather.
Awesome skits, awesome, awesome. So I have and you know what's so funny? I'm so glad I didn't comment because they would have let me walk right into their community. I I watch obscure things on YouTube because I'm constantly sewing my and YouTube suggestions. I'm the shrub who is like, I'll watch this live stream, even though it has nothing to do with anything I'm into. So it's so funny. I thought this guy was a young man. Not only is he like 6'5", 6'7", he's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
But because of spatial perception on the screen, he looks like people. He just aged well. Let's just put it that way. Long story short, he's really intelligent. I like what he has to say, and because I grew up in the suburbs, I like hearing other people's perspectives. I do because I grew up in the suburbs, so my opinion is different from people who look like me. Long story short, he had a stream today, and there's this other guy who was on there. I respect him too because again, like he's into the same things I'm into, but he's from Chicago. So, like, he has a completely different view on the world, but he talks about Star Trek. He talks about Marvel and anime, but he's from one of the roughest places on planet Earth. They did almost a 9-hour stream. And I'm going to give all my fellow YouTubers some advice as someone who's actually done a 7-hour stream. They never end well. You end up fighting with somebody because you get hypoglycemic and hungry. I don't care who you are. You get grumpy if you don't eat. I went to the hardware store. Okay, they were 4 hours into it, and I was like, all right, these guys are gonna be done when I come back. I went to my local dollar store and bought more pointless singer stuff, which I said I wasn't gonna do. And these ninjas were still streaming. So they were like 7 hours into it, and I was like, these guys are gonna fight. These guys are gonna fight, and there's like they have they're YouTubers like us. They have smaller channels, but there's one person who streams with them that has thousands and thousands of subscribers, and it's a weird power structure. What do you call it? Parasocial?
Yeah.
It's a weird power structure. Like I don't care how many subscribers you have. If you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong. I know we're starting with the food early. But this guy, like, they basically started a fight, and two people who have been friends for 2 or 3 years now hate each other.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's like a sleepover when you're, I don't know. Did little boys back in the day have like sleepovers like girls did? Yeah, they did, but
Yeah. Me and my cousin always would end in a fist fight.
right, like it all starts off well and somebody's in tears in the corner.
I have my cousin and I, we were like, you know what? He's a douche, but he was a good guy to me when we were younger. We got drunk. If we spent more than like 6 or 7 hours together, we'd end up fighting because we were around each other our whole lives. You know, I still have a broken finger because we got into a slap boxing fight. To this day, I was like 16 or 17. He broke my finger. And if I said that to his face, he would laugh. He would laugh so hard because I'm petty and I bring it up all the time. Kira, I could not do 12 hours. I like eat a sandwich. I was like screaming at these guys, like, eat a sandwich, you're gonna fight. Like drink a soda, get some sugar in your system, Eat a Snickers. 12-hour gaming stream. Yikes. It's basically like a meeting. You have to pull a hard bookend on it. Yeah, you do. Or the topic of the meeting completely disintegrates. Do you know what's really funny? Do you know what killed the conversation? They started talking about religion. And when you get people from certain communities, they are hard. They don't play when it comes to religion. And so when you say one young man said, and I was surprised because it just didn't seem to me, but he was an atheist. And this other, I'm calling them young man, and we're all the same age. They just aged well. All of them just aged really well. But it was just weird to me how friends got in a scrap, and I watched this descent, and because I've experienced it before, I was like, oof, if I lived any closer.
How old were these? These must not have been like friends since childhood, or because if you knew somebody since you were 6, I don't know, you may or may not have witnessed that journey.
I think 2020 changed everything as far as YouTube goes. Mom and Pop's Quilting just did a 12-hour stream, no problem. But they were probably like, I doubt they were. Quilting does not seem like something you would get in a fight over or bring up religion.
Right, the sport of quilting is like.
I'll tell you, I'm in a group of quilters, and I bring my unfinished projects, and they just berate me about my life. But I've known them my whole life, and I'm kind of kidding, but they know I'm an atheist, and they never bring up religion, and they're extremely evangelical Christian, a couple of them. They do a little quiet at the end. They do go. Long streams are crazy, and honestly, hey, Water Nye, just got back with some food. I was lurking for a while. Hello. I don't know why I have the Ted DiBiase money, the 80s wrestling theme song stuck in my head for some reason.
Have you been watching too much Slap Fight on Rumble again?
Because I have what I call ADD computers. I am able to watch many things at once.
Oh, so are we streaming simultaneously on Rumble? Did that
no,
or was it being a biatch though? like it does sometimes.
Do you know
Welcome to
what?
Rumble.
Do you know what really kills me is I wrote like this huge dissertation. I had a really cool thumbnail, and then they made me do it again.
You
And
have
then
to you save it and copy it because sometimes it goes very smoothly and sometimes I've had to do it up to 7 times. So copy and paste is your friend.
I've learned. I've learned. I'm not a quitter. I will go back at it. So it's not
Yeah,
like it's something
you
like
tried, which is you got started.
I need 2 gallons of Kool-Aid to keep my blood sugar up enough to discuss sewing for 12 hours. I
Oh, that
agree.
would be tears after 12 hours of sewing. See, either you're not friends or there was a problem with your project that brought you to tears, which happens.
Oh, whoops, wrong phone. I was trying to do funny stuff with the wrong phone. It's just so it was weird to me. Like you have to have boundaries because if you don't, you're gonna end up fighting your friends. Like there are certain things that I refuse to roads I refuse to even go down because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. If you enjoy what you do, like why would you fight the people that you do it with? Hey, butterfly.
Yeah, don't fight your friends.
I it's just really weird to me. And you know what? I learn things from these guys. I really do because again, they're from a different culture and I want like ever since I was a kid, I've always sought out different cultures and things that are different than I am, you know. So it was just so strange to watch them go down that road and now they all hate each other. And the guy who has the mega channel is live streaming right now and he's hate streaming about all those other people.
Oh, that's just nasty and petty. Oh, that makes me sad. Or I don't know. Just don't be disingenuous. I
And this
dislike you
guy
all
has it.
equally. It's fine.
Sorry, this guy has a huge reach. Phoenix. I mean, he has a huge, and when he live streams, he has at least 500 or 600 people in the room at all times. So when he speaks, these people are gonna believe him, you know, because they're his minions.
Yeah.
So it just tripped me out. People have to be able to have a dialogue about something and have different opinions while thinking that means you can't get along with somebody. I've learned that over the years. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, you know, and people say some things that hurt my feelings. I'm a human being. I get it. Like, and that's another thing. I take my feelings away from the situation sometimes because I look at emotions as liars sometimes because I'm passionate about things, but give me 15 minutes, I may not feel the same way. You know, maybe I need a Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it was so heartbreaking to watch a band break up, basically. And now
Oh,
everyone hates each other. And the guy with the big, I went on his video for a minute. And the sad thing is, because I've been watching it all day, I objectively know the truth. And he
mhm.
changed the narrative.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of that sounds like a lot of layers of problems to me in relationships in general, parasocial or not. Like, yeah, rule one of relationships: don't be an asshole.
This is why I'm not going to involve myself. I don't know if I'm going to involve myself in this community or not.
Yeah, if they're that petty and backstabbing and funny, that fish don't smell good.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard that saying in English. There's a saying in Spanish like that. Oh my gosh. Spoke with the 82nd World War II and Korea vet for like an hour today. 2 Purple Hearts and a POW. Wow. Wow. The story. You know what's really funny? One of the greatest things I ever did because I grew up around an older generation was I shut up and I listened because they had some of the greatest stories. They were living history. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, you know? Absolutely. Absolutely. I grew up around a couple Korea vets. Talk about stories. Oh, Oh yeah, those vets were the last generation to fight hand to hand, face to face. As far as like modern warfare, there's some kid in Bethesda flying a drone that's in Iraq somewhere, you know. Wow, skits that guy I had Hitman and he went to Najem, Holland. I am terrible when it comes to pronouncing anything in that. In 1979, for a get together, I would have met people who, wow. My grandfather went back to every place that he served, and he went to Russia because it was a pride thing. Like he wanted to put his feet in Red Square. I had to do an interview with my grandmother for a project in college. That was the first time I heard some of her stories about her experience in Coventry in the war. Crazy. Crazy. When you say Coventry, do you mean like the actual Coventry? Like I got sent to Coventry? Because that's a saying in the UK. And it's like they say it so much, it's like a saying now. It's kind of like no mames in Spanish. He definitely jumped into Holland. I also used to know a guy who was a Green Beret in Vietnam. Sadly, he's no longer with us. Those Vietnam era guys lived hard lives. A lot of them.
Yeah, danger and drugs will do that to a human.
My pops drank like a fish every day, and I swear it was to suppress everything that was going on in his head. Skits, I'm so glad you assisted with the ceremony today. I attended one today, and it was so to the heart. Oh, they destroy me. Coventry, England. Yes, it was the bomb placed during the war because of all the manufacturing. So it was the real Coventry. Wow. People wonder why I know how to properly pronounce things sometimes. Saw a documentary on Coventry. That is awesome, Skits. Butterfly is right. That's absolutely. It takes a different kind of person. Like not everybody like people who are non-military who work with the vets. No, I know you're military, but it takes a different kind of person to help vets. Because in our country, like I don't want to get in that argument now. It's early.
Yeah, don't. I'm
It's
not.
awful.
I've got so many mixed feelings on this whole thing. I'm not ready for feelings right now.
Yeah, I haven't even shown off this stuff. I switched a camera angle on purpose so I can show off the stuff I've been sewing. I tried to find the bridge they took me to. I couldn't find it. They changed the bridge from when I was there. That's crazy. That's crazy, Alibaba. This guy didn't drink. He smoked basically 3 to 5 packs a day. Always kept a few cartons of cigs. How do people like that exist? Ugh. I've known lifelong smokers, and none of them have lived to see like none past 85. None of them. It just totally trips me out. So you want to laugh at me? I bought this book. I did.
Get starting in sewing.
It
Learn
has
something.
it. It's okay. So anyone who's ever seen those the picture books, the DW picture books that they made for kids, when I'm at thrift stores, I have my eye. So anything says sewing on it, I grab it. And Isaiah's trained as well, and he grabbed this book, and it made me laugh. It's a beginner's book, but I need a crash course every once in a while.
I do have some vintage hardcover and paperback reference material in my sewing library that sometimes they do have some interesting things of like basic tailor something fancy. Trying not to pirate anymore.
Well, I'm pirates.
Arr.
I'm trying to be a reformed pirate. Do you know you should see the
Some
confused looks on people's face? I have a bunch of Pittsburgh Pirate shirts, but I wear them just because I like because it says pirates.
right. So we've gone back to no pillaging and raping, I guess.
I'm all for sailing and hanging out with the guys. I'm that kind of pirate. How to apply feasible interfacing. An
I did that
interfacing
today. Oh,
An interfacing is a layer that is applied to fabric to reinforce it and give it extra strength. For example, when adding structure to a tote bag, the there are two types of interfacing: fusible and non-fusible. Fusible interfaces, which are backed with an adhesive attached by heat, are the easiest to use. Yeah, right.
mine worked out okay.
I know. I'm just being cynical. I'm just. Oh, whoops, whoops.
Okay, fusible interfacing. What I fused together. I'm not going to pull too hard because it did its job.
Yeah, of course, butterfly. Um, I found this at a not so local thrift store. But this particular company, they make like the picture books. Like I have a couple of their books in here because Isaiah was obsessed with Legos. So I have a bunch of their Lego books in here.
Stop.
But it's really cool because it like it speaks in plain English to someone like me.
Fair. And
So I like it.
Haley Bob is picking on me. Yes, I did try adhesive on my vinyl because I haven't and have never used it, and I didn't know how to adhere the backing because I can't put pins in this vinyl unless I have clips to put the binding on. I know I should have stitched it, but then you would have seen it on the outside.
That reminds me that I've got to fix up one of my tote bags. I've been carrying 3,000 pounds worth of books over the years. I have a backpack like that I'm like, it's a disgrace that I sew and you're ready. It's embarrassing. Yes, I know DK. Yes, DK books are the best. Yes, I can't say that. Yes, I like how we cover all topics and chat about things. I'm all about I'm all about being all over the place. Because I witnessed a hate stream today where people, and that's the thing, like I'll subscribe to one person, they're like, "Oh, I stream with this person, they're cool too." And then you subscribe to a couple of people and then a year and a half later they're literally fighting each other. Sad. And plus I'm not I don't know, it's weird. I'm not defensive about things. Like I want to be educated on things. If I don't know something, please let me know that I did, I misspeak all the time. It's
I just be
okay.
respectful and I'll listen. Just don't be an asshole.
Clearly the new glasses can only do so. You know why, Waterday? Is because there's a couple YouTubers. They say, "Yay, I can't do the fake Southern accent. I'm too West Coast. I'm too broed out." But like, it just seems like it's the hip new thing to say. Oh, what else do people? Or they'll say the one thing that drives me crazy that people say, they'll say, "No shade, no shade," but I hate your shoes. That's all shade. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about?
That's yeah.
Oh, that drives the kids say that now a lot. The younger generation, oh no shade. Or you subscribe, forget about them, and come back to them a year later, and they're making pet monkey videos. I'm all for life changes. Like if you like there was someone who was on RuPaul's Drag Race and now they live near Phoenix and grow massive amounts of marijuana. And they drive a tractor and make videos about their massive fields of marijuana. And they changed though. They're no longer into drag. They're no longer into sewing, but I'm still subscribed. All their content has changed to farming. Has anyone worked with Tolex? I'm gonna cover a featherweight case. No. Where's my Google phone?
It sounds like some synthetic polymer from like DuPont or something that's a vinyl plasticky something or others, I guess. That's copyrighted and trademarked to boot.
Now that's a sinister company. That's definitely a company that will patent anything. Do you know? I heard something today, and I could be wrong, but do you know? Okay, um, I follow people who make lots of money. I want to know how they do it. Okay, and Trixie Mattel knows a lot more than he puts on. Like he's smart, and if he ever is watching this, I he's very
Ryan.
very busy savvy. And he was basically saying like it does like morals are funny because he's against animal testing. So all of his products are not animal tested. But in China, they will not accept a product unless it is tested on an animal. And he was saying, "Look, I'm a almost billionaire for a reason." Tolex sounds like a bootleg Rolex. I bought a bootleg Rolex in downtown LA and wore it when I lived in Portland. I bought it for $20 and everybody thought that I was like, I have money. Tolex is a guitar case amp cover too. Did you get the peel and stick? I just watched Tolex is that painted-ish fabric they cover old machine cases with. 2 messages in one. Oh, so I knew nothing about Tolex. Is it like I have this vinyl you can wrap around anything and it makes it look fancy and brand new. You have to hit it with the heat gun, but it's wrappable vinyl. That's crazy. Let me see my other angle. So today is Memorial Day, and it's also I'm gonna do an unboxing. I always talk about things, and because I'm addicted to Amazon, I do them. I got more flashlights. Hey, Commander. Yeah, that's it, Alibaba. Yes, what an I was going to give it a go. My puppy took care of the old covering. Oh, that's right. Dogs. Love them. Looks like fabric still. Good evening. Just turned on the stream and I'll be listening. I'm about an hour, 15 minutes away from my destination. Yikes. We need to get some good trucker songs for Commander. Because there are some good old school trucker songs. Yeah, Scott, the ceiling you use glue and let it dry and put it. Oh, wow. The heat gun helps. Oh, so it's pretty much like the same thing. Mine's industrial. It's like to wrap around. It's to wrap rubber around corners like in hospitals and stuff for kickboards. Just look at a guitar amp. Oh, okay. I had a mishap with my guitar amp, so it sits in my storage unit in shame. Have you watched the tutorial series, The Featherweight Shop? Do you know there's a woman I watch in England, and she has almost every machine I have. So I love her tutorials, and she constantly has like modern machines versus older machines. Which one works more?
Better.
I can't remember her. What is her name? I'm subscribed to so many sewists. Oh, Simply Stitchy. Do you know anytime anyone's ever mentioned my name while I was watching their stream, I'm like, oh, you know I exist. It's actually happened a couple of times, and they weren't even talking. They weren't even saying anything negative. So I talked about the trash content. Do you think, before I completely jump off the subject, do you think Lizzie Lennard, I think that's her name. I've been watching her for a year. I just like, again, she speaks in plain English and she has almost every machine I have. And I think I own like what's the machine? It's the Singer Genie. I have the original Singer Genie. I think I have the only one on earth that doesn't have the slant problem. And she owns the other one. The lady is so complicated it makes my eyes cry. There are certain there's certain tailoring tutorials where I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch this in the morning because I smoked way too much. They lost me within the first 15 minutes. Simply Stitchy, I have seen her, never chatted though. I absolutely love her channel because she just and she just says the facts. That's why in my videos, the one thing I hated about watching any kind of video is they'll say, "Oh, I made this," and they won't show it until minute 25. I'm gonna show you within the first 30 seconds of the finished product of what I made, so I'm not wasting your time. Oh no, it's lots of parts and could use some editing. Most sewing channels make me think, I'm doing this at home, right? I don't have a shop full of these special gadgets. I always say that people who make anything look easy on YouTube have been doing it longer than people's children have been alive.
But I know you. But then, if Cora is referring to sewing, after a while, if you've been doing it long enough, you do acquire a whole bunch of weird random gadgets. Like, who needs an eyelet press when they first start sewing?
I have a bunch of weird stuff in here. Butterfly, I'm obsessed with Convoy. I'm obsessed with it. And I think they sing it in the movie Odyssey as well. Is it Odyssey? Not Odyssey. I'm sorry. Abyss. Because they're driving a rig underwater. So they like totally come with the trucker theme. Says the guy who literally watched it the other day. It's not like I'm pulling this one out of thin air. I love old school movies, and it's so sad that Abyss is considered an old school movie now.
Well, yeah, that they had to go and remake Willow. It was like, no, just or do it whatever they did to Willow. No, didn't watch it. Not interested. Just leave me my original.
So
Sorry.
we have reached the hold on. Where's my J? We have reached the Godless Sewing's head's gonna explode point of the evening. I'm over remakes. They remade the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They ruined my teen years. I don't like it. And you know what? I absolutely went off when people complained about Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, you get what you got. Stop complaining. And then the Fresh Prince came out, and I was the first one to complain about it. They made it dark and depressing. Like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was never like a serious show. Willow Remakes looks so bad on the ad. I would never watch it. You know what's so sad? I didn't even know they made one. That's another part of my life ruined. Stop making remakes. I think there's a difference between tutorial videos, general showing what I did, so those in the know can follow along, and ones that are showing just for inspiration. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle of that. I stopped doing tutorials because just I didn't get the views. Look up Lights on the Hill by Slim Dusty. It's a trucker song. He's an Australian country singer who recovered over 100 who recorded over 100 albums. He's been gone for I always looking for new music. Hey, Vonrek, what's up? I haven't seen you forever. Hello, welcome. Awesome.
No, the head's exploding right now because I sewed my bias tape to itself, but not along the edge. And am I going to have to go and hand tack on the inside to the lining fabric? Yes, but first time trapeze boots, we have two lining and a binding on one. Hopefully the eyelets go smoother.
I'll make you big. Do you think I'm being overcritical because I'm old and I just don't like remakes?
I mean, can we have a unique concept or thought or creative idea that's not already been done? I mean, I get it. Everything has already been done before.
Like Solomon said.
Can we just be a little bit more creative? If you're going to resort to it, how is it really amazingly better or nuanced? I don't.
I laugh at people who look at old sitcoms like they were real and get mad that Al Bundy could afford a big house and a bunch of kids.
Well, he could. That's back in the day.
Yeah.
They could do that on those salaries.
I will look them up. I actually knew a few people that lived in houses like that were bigger than mine. It was a different time back then. But again, do you think that we're judgmental? Like I'm every time a remake comes out, I'm like, again, or like, but then let's be real. When I saw the Flash movie and I saw Michael Keaton as Batman, I literally was like, shut up and take my money.
Oh, see, I don't know. Okay, I am not huge into graphic novels, DC, Marvel, whatever Ripaverse is going on. So I don't have a vested interest in the storylines and the new Flash on principle. Ezra Miller, you're a weirdo, in my
Kilroy,
humble opinion.
Kilroy, I said this almost like 8 or 9, but I said this before my son was born because I almost got in a fight with this kid, like because I was like Hollywood ran out of ideas, and he was so offended. He was so offended. I agree with you. Remakes make me mad. Hollywood is completely out of ideas, and they're robbing everything from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that they can.
Right, because the young kids don't even know. You have to be old enough to really get that it's a remake most of the time. Because there's stuff that got remade in the 80s from like 40s and 50s and 30s movies that.
See, but they get us with emotion because like they're redoing the Wonder Years, okay? I was so
What?
angry. But when I clicked and I saw it was about a black family, I literally stopped talking. They kept the name, but they changed the premise. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's Wonder Years in a different direction.
Yup.
So
It's
I'm
like
like,
the 80s show instead of the 70s show. But that's.
they're they're redoing
Remake.
that 70s show?
Yes! But it's
What?
going to be the 80s show. It's been on. There's like a whole season already.
I refuse. No, I will draw. No, the lawn, the lawn. Get off my lawn. The line will be drawn here. Oh my, what? See, this is why I hide in the house and watch. Hey, Mark. Hey. Oh, whoops. Hey, how's it going? Hey,
Oh no. Feel
I'm
better.
just jaded. I'm just jaded. Had to go get antibiotics. I'm sure it was a lot easier for you to get it in Australia than it would be for a person in America. I think a lot of remakes don't have anything to add to the story, but when you're an older generation, older movies don't feel antiquated like they do. I agree with you. I agree with you. I am there's certain movies that I watch still to this day and I'm like, "Oh, it looks like to me when I watch Star Trek The Next Generation, it still looks like the future. When the young kids watch it, they're like this is hokey." Haven't been to a movie theater for 15 years. I what year did Noah come out with what's the Australian man's name? I can't remember his name.
The one who did The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings?
Russell Crowe.
Okay.
That was the last time I went into I sat in a movie. And I had an anxiety attack in the end because it was 3 hours.
I can't sit still that long in uncomfortable chairs for expensive food. I like to be at my own house with my own things.
They have no excuse for remakes. There are so many new books, even if themselves are overworked ideas. They at least have different characters. I agree. Do you think it's familiarity? Because people go with nostalgia. Like I haven't yet to see any Flash movie, and I will pay money to go see the Flash because Michael
Don't.
Keaton.
Ezra Miller's a jerk. Do not. Don't. Just. Uh, sorry. Don't please.
See, I don't even know who Ezra Miller is. They're not redoing it. It's about their kids in the 90s. Hey, Mark. You know what though? Like Isaiah watched a bunch of remake cartoons and I got into them. Like there was this Ninja Turtle remake. I've already talked about it where they watched the destruction of Earth on the first episode. And you're like, "What's going on?" And they got a time machine. It grabbed me. You know, that remake got me. A lot cheaper here too. Without insurance and like drugs in general are just unreal. Absolutely. Absolutely. I fall asleep. Depending on the movie. I um I learned from my predecessor, like because compulsively smoked, he would buy the movie. And so we all constantly have movie night, even growing up as a kid. It was different though, because we could go to drive-ins and he could smoke. I bring my own snacks. I miss those days. I miss those days. I've stuck Panda Express into a movie. Where does that line with remakes go? Like, I am over. I don't like the direction that remakes are going. Says the guy who paid for Paramount Plus because they redid Star Trek.
That doesn't help your cause very much right now.
I pick and choose. Like, I was obsessed with the original Battlestar Galactica, and I do nothing but quote the remake. But it came out in a when my ex-wife was pregnant with Isaiah, so I was at home with her all the time, hanging out. I know I'm going to fight. That's old school though. Like, whose mom didn't have the giant house coat when you were sneaking in the movie theater, handing candy to everybody? Like, all right, here, here, here. Do you know what's really funny? Because it never rains in Southern California, my beautiful mother still has the exact same raincoat that she had from when I was a child. I mean, and she still wears it. Things like got to be 50 years old.
Well, it's probably significantly better craftsmanship than anything she could buy new today.
True. It is true. It is well made because it still holds up and it hasn't lost its color or anything.
So she cares for it well, and it was well made.
True. I get really good nuts, dried fruits, and chocolates. The theater doesn't have those. Do you know what's really funny? Here in yuppie California, we have stuff like that. You can get tofu at our movie theaters. You could get pho at certain ones in LA. You can get our movie theaters are LA's a different planet. Like, it's a different planet. You can get some really healthy options here in LA at movie theaters. So you could probably get your dried nuts, but they price gouge everything.
Your dried fruit and nuts.
It sounds like someone I don't talk to anymore. Speaking of which, I am traumatized. I didn't watch the entire stream, okay? I clicked off and on. But these guys, like, and you know what? I take it as a lesson. Like, they were doing great. Had a great stream. I vacuumed. I cleaned my whole house watching them all day. And now they all hate each other because nobody stopped to take a knee and eat a banana. Eat an orange like you're at a soccer game, guys. I have a bag of oranges in my fridge right now. Nachos and pho would be difficult to sneak into a theater. They smell you.
Oh, actually, no. You just need to rent a child and pretend it's their diaper bag and get a giant tote.
True.
The smell might be the giveaway, not the being able to sneak it in.
Has anyone done a whole 30? I'm about to start on June 1st. I did it in 2012. It's really good for me. Just wondering if anyone does that. What's that?
I think it's 30 days of cutting out, just reassessing food choices.
I need to do that because I'm chasing the beaties. I need to do that. Our mom just told us to eat brunch at home before we went to the theater hungry while you're watching the movie. That's your fault. You should have ate earlier. You sound like my grandfather was like, buying food at the movie theater? What? This is so overpriced.
And it was back in the day too. It's a convenience.
Alibaba, a 30-inch pizza.
Never by myself. I mean, I've always had help.
We went to see a first run movie somewhere in Kentucky, and we only spent $24 for 2 tickets, 2 drinks.
You
Wow!
got the steal of the century.
In LA, it's 18.50 a ticket during the day, and it's 22 something in midday, and then it's $30. That's in LA. It's like $20
No,
outside.
still
I've been
no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why that's another reason like I can buy the movie for that price and own it forever.
Right, and be able to smoke a J and enjoy
Yeah.
yourself in your own comfortable chair
That's why I miss my
without
pops.
others.
Like he enjoyed life on his terms, and he taught me like you don't always have to go to the movie theater to enjoy yourself. I've done keto and whatnot butterfly.
Keto.
Interesting.
It's high fat, low carb, super high fat, low carb.
Is that the no bread one?
Yes, or the new version of the Atkins, but yes.
I still have the same Taft raincoat that my father bought for the trawler he had when I was a baby, and I used it for the same coat when I worked on a trawler. It's over 40, and and I've had years of use. I love coats like that. My the vest that I wear that's getting ratty, that's my dad's old jacket. It's older than me. It's way older than I am. I love that. And you know what's funny? They made things to last back then because now, like, I
Well, yeah,
throw
they
things in the,
had to, because
you throw something in the washer and like, if Von Rick did like where I live, Von Rick, that would be an $80 adventure at the movie theaters. I could go for a 30-inch pizza right now. I have a pizza in the in the kitchen right now because I didn't know what time Isaiah was getting picked up, so I got a pizza for breakfast.
some of
This
you
kid's been
folks are funny. Some of you folks make me laugh.
this kid's been making me eat kale.
Well,
I'm like,
good
no,
for him.
I'm like, no, kid, you will eat your chocolate sundae right now, and you will eat a pizza with
No,
me.
no, 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 no. You should. I suggest listening more to the littlest, the little godless, the
Oh,
little growing.
his health kick has really helped my personality. I'm less angry with all this healthy stuff in my system.
Right? Because yes, I yes.
But I need to
We
stay.
didn't do the no medical, legal, financial.
Wait,
There's no advice here. You're here to if you learn something, it was an accident.
absolutely. Last time I saw was 12. 12. Wow. Do you know whenever the last not the last, but the last Star Wars came out when we saw Anakin turn into Darth Vader, I paid $30 to go see it at the ArcLight in Hollywood, to go sit in the dome, to go feel like I was sitting on that planet. Because I sat right in the middle and the screen is so big that like when the movie turns on, you are in the movie. And they have stormtroopers that came out. They charge you, but at least you get a show. I'm not going to pay $20 to go take a nap. So true, butterfly. Do you fall asleep every time? Where we live in London, Kentucky, that would be about $70 venture here in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, awesome, awesome. See, that's good to know that the world is expensive. It's not just LA. It's sad, but it makes me feel better because like whenever I used to travel to Nevada all the time, I would pull into a fast food place in Nevada and like I would order a bunch of food and they'd be like, that's $7. And I'm like, what? In California, that same thing would be like $20, 22, 23 because of tax. That mat that Skitscratcher bought, it was advertised in a store for $50. In my local Michael's. My neighbor did keto for years. He wanted to kill somebody at the end of the
Yeah,
I'm
and,
Go
depending
ahead.
on how
No.
you're doing it, if it's for weight loss, you can still like calories. You can't break the laws of thermodynamics, as the words of Homer Simpson and some other scientists. So at the end of the day, it's still calories in, calories out. And if you don't know how to moderate that, it doesn't matter.
That's me. I will pass out if I don't have 3 squares. Like I need to eat. I need to get my blood sugar. Like everything has to be proper. I will pass out. I will pass out on you. Oh, they say keto is good for different conditions, but for the most, it's not good to do all the time. So because I've been skinny most of my life, it's like cheating with me. So I've never taken a diet. Like I'm one of those like annoying people who have been relatively thin their whole life.
Right? So it's not until now you're like, oh, am I skinny fat?
I am. I have to take care. It's because I was buff and tough, and then when the pandemic hit, I was like, I quit. I'm done. Like trying to, you know what it was? I would work out and go to the beach, and I asked myself, who was I working out for?
Well, for
Was it,
you, that should
no, but
show
was
us
I?
that ideally would have been the answer.
But I still get physical. I still go out and do physical. I still do physical activity. I still walk a mile every day. I just don't obsessively go to the gym like I used to have an 8 pack. Keto is also dangerous. And plus, I like chili fries. No legal or medical advice here at the Godless Zone. I just looked up a
Meltdown
movie.
too.
I just looked up movie tickets price in my area. $9.50 for an adult ticket. $7.50. That's
That's a
like 1990s.
steal.
Yeah, that's 90s prices. Keto for a few weeks is good for a hard reset if you're a carb addict. Carb addicted. I'm carb addicted. I am. I always jokingly say like my sweat starches my shirts.
Oh gosh.
Oh, is fruits, veggies, protein, eggs, no grains, and lay off. Oh, I don't know what my body would do if I, for all the trash I talk, I eat some sort of banana, um, apple, orange, or the combination every day. I'm addicted to strawberries. I eat blueberries. Like, so I'm unhealthy with reason because I was raised by people who grew food.
Oh, my blueberry bushes are going to have a bumper crop as long as I keep the deer off of them. I'm so excited. I ate my first strawberry today. I got strawberry goo in my eye. It's pretty acidic. It hurt.
Oh. I agree with you, Kilroy. I need my daily carb bomb. That's one of the reasons sometimes I think I have diabetes. Like I always wonder what would happen if I didn't drink my coffee with the insane amount of sugar in it and
You,
creamer.
oh, gross. You don't really like coffee then?
No, I make it truck driver. I want to taste all three at once. I want to taste the coffee and I want the coffee to dominate. So I'm like a chemist with my coffee.
No, coffee is black. Or you don't like coffee.
Getting started and out of a fresh, I make a poor man's latte. Getting started in a fresh out of a garden. I just had my first strawberry today. Awesome.
Hey, me too.
I grow like my bumper crops are tomatoes and parsley for everything. Here, eat this. Stay away from my pot. I think that any of these more extreme regimes can be dangerous if people have not done some research and don't know what they're doing. It's also you have to know your body type. I had a friend who was from Belgium and he was a large human being and he moved to Hollywood and became a vegetarian and ended up in the hospital. And the doctor was like, "Bro, you still need to get protein. Okay, good, you're a vegetarian, but your diet dropped off." And crash dieting never works. That's all I'm saying. It's all, but don't take advice from the skinny guy.
uh, yeah, yeah.
Research has shown that crash diets and strict diets just leave you worse off. Thank you. I feel like that about people like where I live. People are addicted to running. I think that's unhealthy. I'm sorry. I think people who like run every day for 20, 30 years, those are the people who have bad knees when they're older. perhaps you could gently wean yourself off so much sugar in your coffee, Godless. It doesn't have to be no sugar. I've been slowly doing that because I can't hit it like I used to in my old age. So, like, I can't eat pastrami every day. I can't, like, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Well, the other option for if it's the sweetness, try the sugar alcohols, the erythritol, the xylitol. I don't like stevia, but I or the monk fruit one because they're sweet flavored but have no calories. So yeah,
You know,
go ahead.
you're like word for word saying what my mom said to me. I have a I have a at the job there's a kitchen in the office. And so I go in there because there's coffee makers all over the ranch. And she caught me like they keep on getting red. I have a sugar spout and they keep on hiding it. So I went and bought another one and I just keep it in the truck. And they were like, "You're gonna get diabetes," because in the office I have 5 mothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you should listen to them because they might know a few things about a few things from some experience about a few things on a few things.
It just shocks them how much sugar I put in, even when it comes to the Keurig.
Yeah, that just sounds great. No, again,
Working gives the same benefits without. Thank you. Walking. Thank you. That's why I walk. I love walking. What happened?
I missed 3 times in a row. I've sewn the bias binding, but didn't catch the edge of what we were supposed to be binding.
I call that chewing with the machine because I'll go back and it just looks terrible because I keep on going over it and over it.
Yeah, this is my meltdown face.
Has anyone ever heard of the sewing term called bumble bunching? It's when you're sewing and you're not paying attention and everything builds up behind the machine and then you start making mistakes.
Mm.
Alibaba wants to know if you ran out of your
I did.
bobbin.
No, no, no. I did not run out of bobbin, but fortunately, I do have at least one pre-wound bobbin for tonight's misadventures.
Bumble bunching is a term that I thought everyone knew, and then I looked it up, and it's a very specific term. But I also like people are shocked that I know how to play euchre and I know certain things,
It's been
but
a hot minute.
I
Or
hung out with
spades.
and spades. I hung out with people that were from Ohio, and so I learned a ton of like card games and stuff. Life is experience. So bumble bunching comes from that area. A little bit of sugar in my coffee is nothing when compared to drinking a can of Coke.
See, just go with the Diet Coke, but I know I no calories, no problem. Diet Coke, I'll splurge sometimes. Get a 10-calorie Diet Mountain Dew. I've been wanting one for 2 days and I've like not gotten it. But
Oh man, you guys would do an intervention if you saw it was in my fridge. I have a cube. I have a Pepsi cube on the left hand side, and then underneath it, I'm addicted to fake Gatorades. I think it's just the salt and the sugar in the drink. I'm addicted to them, and I drink them all day long. Gatorade doesn't even taste the same to me anymore. I have to drink the house brand because I drink so much of it. I call that a rat's nest. It is a rat's nest. It is. Bumble bunching is, terms are different everywhere depending on where you live. I didn't know bumble bunching by name, just experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. A can of pop has the equivalent of 1 cup of sugar. Oh, we're crazy in this country.
diet.
What's a Pepsi cube? It's 24 cans. So it's just a big box that's in the shape of a cube, and they make them so that crazy people like me can stack them in their house. I might have to close my garage door. Someone around here has like 9 JBLs, and they love to party, but they're so far away I can hear the echo. Yeah, it's a 24-pack because we're crazy. I can't drink artificial sweeteners. My stomach brings it straight back up. I think I have like Teflon stomach. Or I jokingly say I'm pre-embalmed because I am from the things that I've done to myself over the years. A 2-4 of Pepsi. We're crazy. That we're crazy. That reminds me I used to be completely addicted to every time someone brings up mug, I can taste it. I miss the 90s. I'll get over it one day. I miss mug.
Right?
Mug and brisk. I was addicted to Lipton brisk iced tea because it was everywhere. It was everywhere. Artificial sweetener. I think because I've watched too much television, I always think it's gonna give me cancer, says the guy who smokes and drinks Pepsi. You can go visit all your old friends' kids. Ohio Euchre. I my ex-wife she still calls me when she needs a partner for euchre. I love playing euchre. Her brother and I have been in tournaments together. And we oddly are the same height and we have bald heads. So people are always like, "Are you guys cops?" What's like it's so strange. And he's the exact same age as you, Phoenix.
Okay.
So we're of the same age group. I don't like artificial sweeteners at all. Do you know? This is a weird conspiracy theory. My mom drank Diet Coke for over like 40 or something crazy, and she got breast cancer, and she swears that's what led to it. But any compulsive habit will kill you if you habitually do anything.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
no
drink
sorry.
soda as like a one-off, like maybe one every 3 months. Like, I had a time where I drank more of it, but I don't anymore.
Oh, I'm jealous. We still get mug and brisk here. Actually, Waternay, at my job, we play bocce ball and backgammon still, and in the gym where I film, we play backgammon in there all the time. You can still get all the classic pops at Walmart in my area, Bargs. You know what? You're right. They do sell Bargs by my house. I buy it every once in a while, especially that and Cactus Cooler when I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to learn backgammon. It's been a long time, and I remember I really liked it.
It is fun.
We play like floor hockey. We get down at my job. That's the one thing I like about my job is that it's an active job. All right, let's look at camera. Is this one? Ooh, this is the camera angle. I moved one of the cameras because I want to be able to show off the stuff I've made.
Mm-hmm.
But I can never figure out the camera angles in here, and my microphone's always way better than what I think it is.
Yeah, just keep to the original one from the video I watched earlier. Like, the first one was the best. The second one, the third one was fine, but the second one was no.
And the funny thing is that two of them are. Oh well, good to see you too. The first one was a cheap one, and the other two were Shure microphones.
Hmm. Now I'm confused because that one that you had the other day was terrible.
But it sounds different on my video camera than it does on my than on my computer.
Up fair.
I'm in love with this coat. I'm sorry. I'm in love with this
Dude.
coat. I'm in love with this dumb thing. And it's been raining here lately too, so I got to wear it again.
Did a coat. I'm melting. I am making a pair of trapeze boots. So it's an outer with a lining with some binding and grommets down the back. So this is the calf. This part that I already unpicked once. Goat sits underneath the foot, and I think I'm gonna run another piece of like 1 inch lace so that it on the inside and outside so it lays flat against the bottom of my foot rather than like a big chunky seam, because I don't know. And it's the first pair, and we're having yeah, wearable mock-up one, because even if it's terrible, I will hand stitch ends and wear it so I can get a better feel.
Oh, Baba, you are the official lawyer of the Godless Sewing Channel. I do need to make a sweep for this because I'm gonna wear it everywhere. And like I always say, people are so used to my crazy behavior that when I wear this around, people don't even react now. And with my spants, the other coat looks awesome too.
Right, 'cause sometimes it's nice to have a great matchy moment with well-tailored clothes. But your updated 3-piece suit, do you need a vest or a hat? Which is going to be the part 3.
I made the collar humongous because, like, why not? And I was going for the 19. This is the total CCTV look, Kilroy. This does look like something crazy is about to happen in here. I watch way too much YouTube. Whenever you see a CCTV video or on Twitter, do you know, honestly, lately, Twitter has been so brutal. Like, I really don't go on it that much anymore because the videos have just been so brutal. Their filters are off. And I can't watch horrible things happening to people without being affected like that. I cannot watch it in like over and over and over.
Yeah.
Awesome. 19 watching, only 10 likes. Get bit. Thank you, Von Rek. I think a lot of people Phoenix, will you do your Russian thing again? Because now people from
Suka Bliat? Are you gonna
yes, please.
Suka! Stop being a suka!
Because people from Russia have now taken over people from India who watch. I now almost 20% of people who watch me are from Russia.
Be a good gopnik. Don't buy ID plus. Do some squats. And to do the gopnik squat, your feet must be all the way on floor. Squat on toes, break your nose.
They'll just move this chat to its browser window. Oh, I have to see if that one weird guy is stalking me too. Oh yeah, I forgot about digital herpes. Let's see if he's stalking. No, he's not. Okay, good.
Oh, sorry if you hear the squeak. It's my table tonight, not my sewing machine. I guess I need to reinforce Grandma's table because...
Okay, that's what I did.
It's not Brunhild.
That's all right. I love security camera instant karma videos. I watched one today in, I don't know if it was Colombia or Venezuela, but man, these 3 guys tried to rob the wrong woman and she put all 3 of them out of her misery. Ghost in the background, didn't see that. I have Kirk and Spock going on in the background obsessively. Okay, how do you feel about ghost hunter shows? Because until I see a full apparition of a ghost, like full Disney, like rattling chain style, it's just people running around a dark room with equipment getting themselves excited.
There is a huge difference between that and, in my opinion, there's a difference between that who do it for clout in the scientific way versus a human who may or may not legitimately be able to have interactions. And usually those who do are not the ones who are trying to clout chase with it.
I think because I'm annoyingly skeptical also, it's just like I love my mom. And ever since my father passed away, I hang out with my mom as much as I can. She watches ghost hunters and ghost stories. I literally am sitting there with like this, like, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say because to me they're just running around like you can hype up anything, you know. And I'm not saying I'm sure there's crazy things that happen that I will never know of. Maybe I'm not on the level. But because I'm so skeptical, it just seems like people running around making themselves crazy.
Yeah, I think the shows might be that. Yeah.
I went to take a coat outside was Westminster Abbey when my hands were stuck in the sleeves. The wind gusts blew me over backwards, butt in the grass, heels in the air.
Oh
Chicago is the only place I've ever been where I jumped like an idiot and the wind took me. I think ghost hunter shows are people just getting themselves again, like I try not to be disrespectful, but like I think the same thing too. But there was a really famous guy that came to my town and everybody just came to stare at him.
well, yeah, it helps if you like are a pretty person. The ghosts talk to you more if you're pretty, don't you know?
Fame is so funny. If you watch this guy's first show, he literally had glasses and a part down the side. And if you see him now, he's buff. He's wearing cutoff sleeves. Like Hollywood will change your life. Funny, not funny. So don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Let her enjoy it. No, I feel I'm the same way. Like because I grew up around senior citizens, I have a view of when people reach a certain age, you leave them alone.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, regardless of their views. Like my grandmother said some awful stuff towards the end of her life, and I was like, "That's nice." Butt in the grass, heels in the air. It's my next album name.
But in the grass heels. Oh my god! I give up for right now.
You are
Sorry, I just had a
reminding me.
meltdown.
You remind me of that day I went through 4 sewing machines on your stream.
Oh, right. I went through 4 pieces of bias tape and I'm like bitching up a storm.
I was so mad. My blood pressure was high that day. I had to woo-saw after. Oh, only my pride was hurt. I'm born goofy, Waternay, so I fall everywhere. I'm born goofy. Marjorie Taylor Green.
MTG.
Because of you, I properly say her name now, and I now say Central California.
Right. Speak what it is, child.
You know what? Like I said, anything north of Bakersfield is Northern California to me. But I literally live at the bottom of the map, so what do I know? What do we know around here?
Nothing.
Methinks the white needs some TLC.
Oh, are you complaining about my table being shaky?
Oh, that's right. It's the table. It's not the white, it's the table.
Is that my table is super shaky and noisy tonight. Probably need to turn her
So
around.
I've been trying to relive my youth. So should we go with hat A? B, which literally goes over my ears. Hold on. This hat is so big, it literally goes over my ears. Or this hat that I first purchased this hat in 2001, I think. 2000, and I still have it. It's an oldie but favorite, and I don't like try to wear it too much because I lived in this thing for years, and I don't want to ruin it because I love
What about
this thing.
that duck bill on the front? I'm gonna have to go with C.
This is because I put a helmet over it.
I'm thinking about the brim looking like a duckbill.
Oh, it's because I put a helmet over it.
Oh, okay, so it molds that way. Okay, you said that and I didn't understand it. I'm slow sometimes.
The wind like melts the hat after a while, but it's my style, if you know what I'm saying, because I've been wearing hats like this for 30 something. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. I miss this hat.
We should coordinate that so that we can make a big production and plan to know which day. But yes, soon.
Yes, because let me know. I'm gonna move all my Columbia House VHSs, and I have drawers of accessories that I don't even know what half of this stuff is, and cams. The rubber sheet drawer liner from the dollar store helps shaky rubber on the table.
It helps a shaky machine. No, the machine is not shaky. It's the table that's shaking.
Thank you, Gilroy. Waternays Rebel. This hat is so big, I could wear it over the other hat. I have a large head, so when I find hats that are my size, I buy them. But now that I wear my cowboy hat all the time, I don't wear hats at all. Thank you.
That's not true. You wear a hat. It's just not that hat.
That's true. I've been wearing my hat for so long that it's not black anymore. It's darker. I love that. That's like this. This thing has slowly faded over the years. I just have good lighting in here. That's one thing. That's an old LA saying is life is nothing but lights, glitz, and camera tricks. It's all angling. I just bought an original manual for 2 boxes of accessories and attachments for an antique white rotary. Ooh. Awesome.
I got the machine. I got the white rotary.
I can't find hats my size. Is it because your head's large or small? Like my dad had a bean head, and he had like an odd head. I take after my European ancestors with my skull. What are the hat choices? It's here. We'll do it one more time. The LA one is like rode hard and put up wet. This hat is just sad. I have worn this. This hat is so floppy because it is so used. It's worn under a helmet. It's so sweated on and washed. Would anyone ever be interested on a how to like keep your clothes clean forever tutorial? Because like this, I've kept the color of this hat, and I slept in my car with this hat, and it still has the color. Even this, like I wash my hats, and it keeps the color. This is the first one. This is the second one. It's humongous. I just like it because I went to Baltimore, and they were really nice to me. I actually had a really good experience in Baltimore.
All right.
People talk a lot of trash about that place, but I had a great time.
I need an easier project than.
Do you know? What is her name? Someone I watch. She's a bigger YouTuber. She recently like made 4 or 5 videos about losing her sojo.
Oh, kittenish behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I know this one. I haven't lost my sojo. I just. For some reason, talking and chatting and paying attention to putting the bias binding on a curve that's not going to fray because I'm a weirdo and just want to try skills is not working right now. So I'm going to just do rolled hems with my rolled hem foot. Not that that's any less perilous sometimes. To be honest, I'm switching from one devil to the next devil.
Thank you, Butterfly. What's a boonie hat?
Maybe a beanie?
Or like a big fishing hat?
Maybe, I don't know. I've not. I don't know.
Because I know it being in the boonies. I could have a turtle cabinet and machine as well, but the machine was rusted out on the outside, and somebody had done a 90s chic paint job on the cabinet. Oh, fine. Oh,
That's what paint
I
strippers
like the
for.
colors of the hat B on you. Thank you. I was crushing. Who lost their sojo? It's knittish behavior?
No, kittenish behavior. I think her name's Shay or Shane. She's on some island that's UK adjacent.
She oddly looks like my ex-wife. It's the glasses and the hair, but she like it's creepy how much she looks like my ex-wife. And that's a great way to start a conversation with someone that you never want to talk to again.
Seriously, you're like,
Hey, you look like my ex-wife. Okay, I'll never speak to you again.
right? You
Every
might
time
want
I
to
watch,
like, no.
I've even shown my ex-wife, and she's like, "That's not funny," but they do. They look. Look it up on Wikipedia. Those brimmed hats that use army issues. If
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, so instead of pulling up my roll 10 foot, let's.
this is my Elmer Fudd hat. Is it like this? This is a desert, European desert army hat, but I call it my Elmer Fudd. So how do you keep your hat? I wash everything in Arctic cold water. I put shout on everything, and I hand scrub my hats to get the dirt out. Like I wash them in a cold bowl, and you will see the difference instantly. And then I put them in a delicate cycle, but you could hand wash them and leave them out. And it depends on the age of the hat because like this is 100% cotton. This will shrink if you put any heat on it at all. These hats were made to shrink. I've just hand washed it for 20 something years. Tilly hat. Oh, they have the brim all the way around. Oh, okay. Large. Though while we were Georgia, and my husband found a hat that fits me, so we bought it. I'm all about that because I have a. That's why I buy odd hats because I have such a large head. Like I bought this because it fits me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, a hat that fits. The sides of the brim can also snap. Oh, okay. You learn something new every day.
Yep.
I used to wear all kinds of hats, but my cowboy hat has saved my skin. Because I'm outside, I don't have leather face. It like the cowboy hat has completely protected my skin. So I kind of wear it religiously. With some of them you can. I will say though, like let's be real, people treat me differently when I wear my cowboy hat. And now that I wear it everywhere I go, I couldn't imagine going in public without it. But I always get the hello, sir, or people like it's the weirdest thing. And in Spanish, I get this weird respect from people. It's hard to get a motorcycle helmet when you have a large head. There's a couple I have to special order, but it's cheating because I literally live within walking distance of a motorcycle shop that's been there my entire life. And like they'll special order stuff, but it's not
I was
easy.
gonna say, I'm like, sir, can we special order you something today?
Yeah. Oh, you know the old adage, like for man, they'll get you anything for the right price.
Right.
I saw a clip where Jack Nicholson approached Jennifer Lawrence saying she looked like his ex-girlfriend. She hit him back with, "Do I look like your next girlfriend?" Ooh, I love her. I love her. She's the kind of person that could keep up. Like I absolutely love Jennifer Lawrence. She does not play. It's a good thing I don't ride motorcycles because fitting leathers to actually fit me would be hell on earth. You know what
Yes.
they would just charge you out the wazzy because they'd have to make you a large jacket. You'd have to get a special order jacket. But because motorcycles are popular, the prices have gone down in a lot of things because everybody's, the market's over inundated again. At least where
Don't
I
you have a
live.
sewing machine or some leather punches? Who you can make your own leather stuff? Who needs this thing called a store?
That is true. Like leather work is what I did before I got online.
I'm gonna IBRB.
Okay. I have Cult of Personality stuck in my head again. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but just remember a theremin will ruin your band. You know, Kilroy, dirt biking is fun too. Dirt biking is even more fun because you can go out in the middle of the woods. You can just go endlessly forever. Well, as far as your gas will take you. That's one thing I love about bikes. It's the independence when you get one that runs. The older I get, I feel sorry for people when I see them on the side of the road because they'll buy something and not know basic maintenance. And usually, like, they flooded their bike or it's something dumb. It's some rookie mistake, or they dropped it and didn't realize that. Lots of people will drop their bike and not realize the damage it does. Love that. I love the idea of motorcycles with the freedom of the open road and whatnot. But I have some people who have had some serious accidents, so I have issues with them too. I actually I was in a car accident, but I kind of slowed down my riding because I almost died in an accident. And it really because I had an addiction to going fast. I had an addiction to going fast, and I almost died in a car accident, and it really checked me. It really changed my life actually, and it taught me what's important. Like driving like an idiot is not what's important. Living is what's important. And so I agree with you in a lot of ways, Waterne, because like now I just go good old rootin' tootin' and scootin'. Back in the day, I would be like every time I came to a light, I would race out. I'd go at 100 million miles an hour, and now it's just about sitting back and enjoying the scenery. But one of my favorite sayings about a bike is a motorcycle is the only thing on earth that like a lawyer or an accountant can buy, put on a bunch of leather, and go scare the hell out of everybody in the next town over at the gas station. But like my predecessor used to always say, like win, lose, or draw with a motorcycle, you lose. That's the problem. That's the problem. So if you eat it, especially on the freeway, like the freeway is not for the faint of heart. Like I've seen rookies pull off and not even go on the freeway, and I don't blame them because it is nothing but anxiety inducing when people are flying past you and they have protection because they're in their car, and you don't. I don't go as crazy as I used to. And now I drive my 1988 Ford truck, and that slows me down. Are you a speed demon? Or are you like a 10 and 2 speed limit kind of person?
Can I split the difference along?
I'm habitually early, so I don't drive fast either. Like I was raised by a military man, so if you're 45 minutes early, you're late.
I'm gonna go with 15, but similar.
I was second on the scene of a motorcycle wreck last week. It was disturbing. The man is still alive, even though no helmet. Yikes! Oh, that's right. You don't have Do you not have helmet laws in Texas? Oh wow, California. They'll rip you off your bike if you don't have a helmet. I'm a speed limit person. I've learned. Almost dying will do that to you. I've learned the hard way.
I think it also depends on the road. Like in town where children are, and like when the speed limit is 25, you don't need to go 40.
I naturally have a lead foot, but I'm a safe driver, and I like clean drive. I have a clean driving record, so I restrain myself.
Yep.
When I get like on the 10 freeway between here and Phoenix, I'll go 100, but you're out in the middle of the desert, and the speed limit's 75. Okay, here in LA, the speed limit on the highway is 65. Everyone goes about 75. Everyone. And they look at you crazy if I call it NASCAR. LA freeways are not for the faint of heart. Like I always wonder if I put someone like from the UK in my car and was like, let's go to the shop, I would probably scare them on the highway. I think he I think he will lose his right eye. He was messed up. You don't have to worry. Oh my god. Oh, ugh. That makes me want to get a face covering helmet. No
Right,
helmet
his
laws
face is
here.
too pretty.
I do, but I like putz around, so I wear my half helmet. No helmet laws here in PA. All biker groups fought against them years ago. They've had the helmet law in place since I was a kid. Literally on the Nevada border, people are taking their helmets off.
Oh God, like, is it really that much? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll be honest.
Are there helmet laws in Oregon? Because our laws are semi-similar.
Oregon's got laws for everything. Well, except for where we don't. So I don't know. I don't ride, so it doesn't apply to me. So I've not looked into it.
Well, the smallest hit there is a raccoon, not much, but them deer or moose, that's true. You will die if you hit a moose. And that's another thing. Like, we have cougars here, cats that are 190 to 200 pounds.
Drunk bears. No, I've known a few folks who've had accidents because of drunk bears.
Do you think meth gators are real? I saw this thing on Twitter where they were like, oh, telling people in, excuse me, Louisiana to quit flushing their meth down the into the bayou because the gators were testing positive for meth.
Well, I mean, you can. That actually wouldn't surprise me because you can also test waters that are like positive for estrogens and progestins from oral contraceptives. So some of that, yeah, doesn't surprise me. Okay, where am I fudging this wrong?
Waterne, that's real because we smash here in LA, and like I've been passed by a cop doing 75. I thought he was gonna pull me over. I was just being annoying to him, and he flew past me. Drunk deer from eating. Yep. I was thinking about that too. We had an old peach tree. I hate that smell of old fermented peaches. Bonrick, thank you for coming by. It was great seeing you. I haven't seen you in a long time, so you're always welcome here. Always. Yay. Meth gators are fake. The police department that issued that warning later said it was a joke. See, this is why I don't mess with Twitter too much. Between these these crazy videos they show and like people trying to start riots with the whole Target thing, and they're like, no, this is a video from the George Floyd riots. No, this is a video from something else. Like Twitter makes I need blood pressure medication after going on Twitter. And I think it's more or less, I feel sorry for people who think that misinformation is gospel. Because there's the old saying, there's your side, my side, and the truth. Because somewhere in between all this convoluted crap is the truth of what's really going on, you know? Be safe in whatever you do, butterfly. Be careful. And that's why I like Twitter is bad for my health. It is a like a knife fight out in international waters. And the Star Trek people are not Star Trekking anymore. They're fighting with each other too.
Oh, yeah, these like community incel fighting is just crazy.
Gators scare me. I saw footage where an alligator was sneaking up on a flamenco when all of a sudden
Flamingo.
a bigger alligator snapped up by him in the middle and hauled him away. Oh, I have dreams like that. I just think it's anxiety. You can show people something in misinfo and they'll still believe it because it helps their side. I agree. And I think that's what just has me like, I'm done. I'm done with all of you. Like, can I get a pennant that says, I hope everyone loses 2024?
No, that's right. That's why, like, I joke about, like, I dislike you all equally. Like, I really don't, but I do.
No, I live by this Slayer line. That's from God Hates Us All. He basically says, like, no, like injustice is everything for everybody. Like everybody suffers. There's no like we claim difference, but everybody like has oppression in a different way, you know?
Right, we're all the same, really, underneath it all. We're just humans.
Absolutely. And I think that's the one thing that's been bothering the most lately with all this misinformation. It's like they're trying to, and that's another thing. Like, how does it pay off with everybody fighting each other? How the F does that pay off? I don't
Oh,
get it. I don't
no,
get it.
because it doesn't pay off for us. That's why we don't get it. It pays off for big government, big corporation, the master planners. It doesn't pay off for us. And we're like seeing through the veil of like, no, this doesn't make sense because we're not buying into it.
Like, someone I used to hang out with used to say it all the time. Like, it's artificial strife. They make artificial strife in order to hide the bigger issue. Like, whenever I
Yes.
see like a cover story on the news, I'm like, ooh, something happened. Like, whenever I see a Alien Gonzalez, does anyone ever remember Alien Gonzalez?
Oh, the kid from, yes, that they sent back. Yes.
Who is now in the Cuban communist government?
Yeah, because he was our age. That's an old story. Don't stop making. We're not old.
Yeah, Kelly, once it's in someone's head, they'll forget it was ever debunked. Exactly. Oh, that drives me mentally insane, especially when it's debunked right in front of their face. I'm finally at my destination, and the signal is so bad. By the time I picked up the phone, I was 21 minutes behind. That's how much buffering I have.
Oh.
You know what? Commander commenting reminds me, like, I didn't know that people thought the Earth was flat. Like, I thought that was just like a ha joke. Like, nah, the Flat Earth Society is real. These idiots are real.
Mm-hmm.
People try to create a narrative now, quite like advertising spin. It goes back to that guy that was rude, came in, picked a fight, and then went on his stream, which he knew he had so much more of a grab. He is fighting people that have one guy had 40 subscribers, the other one has 200, the other one has like 4 or 500. This other guy has 6,000 subscribers.
Oh God, they're not even in the same sandbox. Just be nice, asshole.
Oh, he drives me so, I was so
Oh
mad.
God.
And now these people are gonna go fight all these people with the smaller channels, and they supported his channel. They helped him grow his channel.
Oh, that's just mean and nasty. Can we just, at the end of the day, we like to sew and complain about shit around here. I think if I can surmise some things about a few things, like it's sewing and complaining.
Oh, stitching and bitching is my blood type.
Right? I know. It's like my show. I set it up so like I can deliver on this every week, unless I have a major meltdown or some extenuating circumstances. Like,
I agree. I agree with Commander. Like when you're fighting, you're not paying attention. You'll vote for anyone. When someone accuses another person of being a part of a global conspiracy and smelting Delta, smelted Delta, I agree with that as well. I agree with you. Even when they were in the same sandbox, it bothers me to watch. Like I'm biased, but it bothers me to watch, and they're all in my age group. So I'm watching a bunch of 40-year-old men act like children, and I'm like, bruh, like I know for a fact that these people were raised by old world people like me, and I think that's part of the attraction. And like I know you were not raised that way. If we're fighting over the government needing to control everyone's private part while Elon Musk gets to pay no taxes, that bothers me too. Like if you don't pay taxes, don't talk to me because like I could have bought a Ferrari over the past couple of years. I would have to save up, but I mean, they accused John Kerry of being an elitist flip flopper from Massachusetts. Barack Obama was a Christian from Midwest, and Mitt Romney become an elitist flip flopper from Massachusetts. It's true. It is very true. It is true. And also, and that's another thing. Like the thing that drives me crazy is if you take someone like me, I am African American, Mexican, raised around all Caucasian people. I'm from a different planet compared to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a different view. I have a different view than other people have. Like, and it's not a myopic one. I feel one way about something, and I might be right about one thing and completely left about the other. You know,
Yep. I think
I
that's why I enjoy our Stitch and Bin bitchins, because that's
absolutely.
like
I'm gonna go to
nobody's.
the
We
I'm gonna go
keep
to
showing
the
up. How many weeks it is? People put up with us for 8 hours a week for like the past 3 months.
four.
Shit. Okay.
I looked yesterday.
It's been a hot minute, and you like me. You really like me. Or we have good discourse. Like it's mutual. Well, it's mutual respect, and someone should. And I don't know. Okay, this is so weird, but I tried a couple of these new. They're is it a different brand? Of course, no. It looks like these are grist hammer feet that I got when I got Shmuley this collection of hammer feet that are all duplicates of what I have, but they don't fit. Like I try to the the Tucker foot works, but the rolled hem feet, the my needle punches and the hole's not big enough, and my needle is can't go through. I don't get it.
Don't forget when Obama was the devil because he wore a tan suit. I miss those days. May that be the biggest problem of the world. I miss those days. I think we should eliminate political parties. People should have to run on what they believe and not. I agree. I agree. They should actually have to be able to stand by it and not hide behind a bunch of people that are politically driven by money.
Well, Oregon's might be moving towards a runoff election state, so that will be interesting.
That would be extremely interesting.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you. I thought it was going crazy. I was like, why is my needle want to break because it's hitting metal? Okay. It yes, that ironically enough, they are all low shank feet. But the issue was where the needle comes down. The hole's just not the right size on or in the right spot. So, the comparable ones. Let me see here. Yeah, it has to do with where the needle goes through, and it looks so subtle, but one of them works and the other one is like, nope, you're like 2 millimeters off from where that needle wants to slide through her hole. Why does everything have innuendos?
Everything, because that's the kind of party that we're.
But it's not even like we're trying. I'm just like,
Is that Geist?
it's grist or greased. I think GRIEST.
I've been trying to pronounce that since the moment
I've heard it all the ways, so just pick your one and please don't be mean in the comments if we get it wrong.
You can have like a same machine but branded for Sears, Robux. That's why I go off about my Japanese clones, because you don't know where they came from. For anyone who's watched my videos, they know I love Japanese clone sewing machines because they could be anything except for white. If you ever see a sewing machine that just says white only, run.
No,
Run.
no, the white rotary hand crank is a dream. If you can find one for $25 and do a parking lot deal.
No, I said white only.
Okay, right, correct. Yes, this
If
is
it's
the white
white,
rotary. It's not
yeah.
just white. We're not just white. We're the rotary white
Because
versus
white,
my improved Eldridge. I'm like, what were you that terrible before that you need to be improved?
all the 60s and 70s whites are just DOA. I took one apart. That's the one that almost took my hand.
Grist. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Allie.
So
Grist.
Grist.
Iced.
What you get?
No, I don't drink Red Bull. No, this is a White Claw Surge and the last of a Vizio hard seltzer with vitamin C because I need my vitamin C.
In a drink, you need. Hey, get in where you fit in. I'm not judging. I need vitamin C. Shit, I need more vitamin C in my life. Oh no, some of the white is great. I agree with you. I have purchased 3 whites to the point where every time I see one, I walk away. Every time I see one, I walk away now because I'm just like, nope, nope, nope. That reminds me. Let's see if I can get into my pictures to show that machine that I've walked away from a couple times.
Oh God, yes, because they are asking too much. But I don't even know how to like say the words because I feel on some level it's sacrilege, but on some level I'd be so happy because there's no color change. Like she's pressed metal, Brunhild, but I was just thinking about taking a very fine brush and super pretty paint and like painting on her.
Yeah, just get a soft brush. Just don't be like me. I'm a psycho who uses a wire brush one time on a sewing machine.
Oh no, I've got
Get the
fancy
gunk off.
brushes. I'm just like, there's no decals. Everything is just like impressed into the metal. So to just like enhance it and bring it out a little bit, there's a ton of vitamin C intake. Oh, astronaut drinks, the
Craving it.
cosmonaut. Yes,
I love Tang. I effing love like Al Bundy.
it's been
I
so long.
love Tang. The older whites are good. Which ones were the evil ones for you, Godless? The 1960s, 70s, and 80s ones. If it just says white, it was when they were mass produced. But because I love clone Japanese sewing machines, I'll buy any of them because I can spot them. Also because they have the JA tag underneath.
I am just a sucker for whites. Oh, that didn't come out right. Just make a
I caught what you were
screwdriver.
saying. Just made a screwdriver using Tang. Oh, I miss screwdrivers.
I don't. Oh no, that's a whatever it is. Orange and or orange juice and vodka. No,
Yay, butterfly.
The jeans button with wire snips on it worked beautifully. Great job. You've been working on this since yesterday. You are dedicated to this project. You're like, I'm gonna see this through the finish.
I do that. I start a project and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take me days. And I stop myself because I'm like, you can't do everything at once.
No. Okay, so if I need to change I know. I just like to enhance its beauty. Everybody's like, don't do anything to your old machines, and I like wasn't going to, but now I'm like, what about some like opalescent, sparkly, purpley blue tones?
Just don't put Gojo on it or they'll make fun of you forever.
There's nothing to Gojo.
No, I'm just being facetious.
That would be on Shmooly, but I think I'm just gonna touch. Well, first we need to take apart and rebuild these electrics, which I should figure out how to redo the camera for next week, and maybe we can. The first June stream is Phoenix takes apart the electrics on a sewing machine live. No face, just sewing machine guts.
Gosh, that was 2 weeks. I'm trying to look for the other picture that I sent to the group of that overpriced sewing machine. I don't even want to say the price yet until I show the sewing machine because
It was
they're crazy.
extortion. It was extortion. It
And
was sewing.
they started so high, Phoenix. I was like, and the funny thing is, I know for a fact I'm the only one that buys any sewing machines over $100 there, so they're outpricing me.
Right, and they should know, like, oh, I do actually have shellac for my Pisanki, so I don't even need to buy that. It's just the okay. What is it? What is happening?
We can't find the other one. I can't remember if it was before or after. Oh, there it is. I think that's it. Okay. So I sent those to the group. Let me see if I can pull them up. Dun, 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 to Twitter.
What?
Okay, so before I pull this up, so I want everyone to know that in the state of California, we pay high prices, okay? We pay ridiculously high prices. Let me see if I can get this going. Oh, whoops, that's not an invite. Wrong button. Okay, I'm a professional YouTuber. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I want everyone to see this machine. Keep in mind, no sewing machines were harmed in the process of making this. I am not shaming
That belt
anyone.
was broken anyway. There is no belt on that machine, and that's the first obvious problem that I can spot, and I know nothing.
When I took this picture, they wanted $500 for this machine.
Oh my god.
Let's see, and that's what you like. People think I'm playing when I say I have a wall of Columbia House videos in front of my toolbox. I'm not kidding. I'm ridiculous with it. And then this picture, now they want $159 for it.
Yeah, wait till it's Green Tag Day and it's 50% off. Then we might have a deal, but they're getting closer.
Exactly, Water Nate. Sorry, I'm just seeing the comments now. Exactly, they're out of their brains. Like they're. I've paid $50 for something in better condition and with all working parts.
Yeah, because that's obviously not working. There's no belt on that machine, and it doesn't have a bobbin. Like, is it a stupid shuttle bobbin? I mean, shuttle bobbins are cute. Don't get me wrong, shuttle bobbin folks. Sorry.
You were right though when you said the other day that machine is haunting me because I do take a picture of it every time I see it, and this is like the third picture that I've taken of that stupid machine.
Right, you're just waiting for the price to be like not stupid.
I do that, but like, they had like it's a funny story about a Kenmore. They had a Kenmore with the table. They wanted $200 for it. I laughed so hard the manager like walked out. It was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm having a fit. Excuse me." Excuse the mess. I'm just having a fit. Then I went to another thrift store in the San Fernando Valley and found this almost the same sewing machine in a white table. It's a Kenmore. I got it for $45.
Yeah, and it was probably where it had more pieces.
Oh, and it works beautifully. I made a video about it, danced around, played Barry White, made my cheesy joke about Barry White and lube. Those Singer 66 machines are going up in prices big time. But $500, Alibaba, like
for a broken one, if it was
yes.
If it worked, I could see $500, but no one was buying. Yes. Yeah, they're testing the waters of like, what will you pay? And now they've learned, hopefully not that much for garbage machines that are going to take at least $100 to repair.
And like, I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm the only person who has purchased sewing machines over a certain price at this store, and I know because they live there because I take pictures and then come back 2 weeks later.
You document. This is like the machine, the antique machine shelter. You're like, this is. Will you adopt me? I've been sitting here at the thrift store for the amount of weeks. Will you please save me from my fate of the trash?
How much is it true? How much is that puppy in the window? Wow. You know, my pops used to always say you just have to find a sucker because he sold everything, but like that's too much for me. I know their value, I know their worth, so I refuse to pay that much for a sewing machine. A belt is cheap and easy just to put one on. I agree. Somebody has no idea about pricing or what they're looking at. They just see old machine and translate that into collectible antique machine. Also, um, what's that site I don't use anymore? eBay. And what's the other one?
Etsy?
Has ruined antique everything and anything because people think that they have the 66 Ford that's worth $1 million, or they have, it's ruined pricing.
Well, actually, I wonder if some of it also is folks who don't love sewing machines, but think they can do a shabby chic reno on it and sell it as like a piece of furniture and not to actually sew one. They're like, oh, I'll paint it, do all these fancy things, make it look nice, and resell it for $500 in my boutique shabby chic shop.
That drives me crazy too. Those drive me. 45 years ago, I still listen to the Cars. Now I have the Cars stuck in my head. I need you. You don't have, I freaking love the Cars. That isn't even a really old machine. Exactly. I lose it with these people because if I don't know the year, I just Google it. Especially if it's a singer, I'm dead to rights because that's what I buy. And if I don't have one that year, I probably have one around that year.
Right, and I just buy random one-off like brands I've never heard of before.
I go looking for those too, though. I go looking for those so bad. That's why when I saw your sewing machine, I was like, I am so jealous right now.
Right, the Eldridge improved rotary.
Oh, come on. Like I'm in groups that specifically only show like odd brand sewing machines. They'd love your sewing machine.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay, well, hook me up. I didn't know this was the thing, and the patent on the plate says 1920s. The
Oh, that's
seller
awesome.
said 1930s, so I have no idea. I haven't looked up the specs of this machine yet.
The thing is, a good turtle machine that is clean, oiled, serviced, time checked, and accessories, etc., then sure, but not one you found under a blanket in the attic. That's what I'm saying. They drive me mentally insane. Like, if you're gonna rip me off, at least put some effort into it. I'm a fanatic. I have paid absorbent prices for sewing machines, but like, let's be real. I want them. I'm trying to get them to work. So I need some meat on the bone, guys. I need some meat on the bone.
Don't sell me Eugenia Cooney when you think that has holiday.
She has scarred me. She has so scarred me. They need to get her off of you. They need to get her off of
No,
shorts.
no, they don't. She can stay. If we're gonna let super morbidly obese fat people stay on YouTube, then if you want to starve yourself, go for it. Like it's all free
Sure.
speech.
I agree. No, I agree. I agree.
It might
But
make
like,
you uncomfortable. Sorry.
she scared me. She like
Skin
because
and
we.
bones. She's one infection away from death.
Oh, and I'm sick. As an asthmatic man, I couldn't get near her. She might get me sick.
She doesn't go anywhere. She can. That she stands at all right now is her only exercise, and
And the only reason I even pay attention to her is because of Dorian of Herbs and Altars. He
oh
brings
yeah,
up the fact, like, look at the like, and I never click on Eugenia Cooney's channel because of that, because of Urban Altars. I just, ugh.
I know that look is revolting, but there may or may not have been a time in my life where I was like, "That's I can do that," but I was
I've
never
been
that
skinny
good at it.
too. I'm not shaming anyone. I've been there actually. It just I can't watch people fall off of skateboards anymore. I can't watch morbid things anymore the older I get. It just makes me sad. Oh, jinx,
Yeah.
butterfly. We said the same thing at the same time. It does make me. I watch people dancing to the Little Mermaid song, and I watch grown adult. It's grown adults. They're like women in their 50s and 60s dancing, and then Eugenia Cooney popped up, and it
Mm.
scarred me. And it scarred me. Now I have Under the Sea stuck in my head. And you know what? She's probably around our age. She saw the movie the same time that we did when we were
I think she's
grommets.
a little bit younger, but yeah,
You know,
millennial, not zennial, not young millennial.
that's the weirdest classification to me.
All right, we've got a cough fit over here. And I have an unthreaded needle again.
Oh man. Now I just have Under the Sea stuck in my head. Did you hear the helicopter?
No, because you were on mute.
God, they're so loud.
But I had two fly over today, but I couldn't tell if they didn't look like big people movers, so I don't know.
When I hear the big ones, I'm scared of fire because I live in fire country.
True, but I also live not that far from a Air Force reserve base that sometimes does training missions.
Waternet, you have hit a nerve with me because I agree with you. Like people like concerned trolls trip me out. People who exploit other people's illnesses trip me out. Like if someone's sick, like I don't know where's that line between exploiting somebody and reviewing what they're doing.
Well, I when it comes to body composition stuff, I think it's really funny. Funny's not the right word. That Eugenia Cooney is so amazingly revolting, but Life by Jen, Glitters and Lasers, Nikocado, the other Canadian one who died, Amberlyn.
I forgot about that.
Like people don't like being super fat doesn't trigger the same like, oh my god, I'm afraid you're gonna die, and it should.
It's
And
because we're trained that that's rude, and so people don't want to come off. I was raised by extremely rude people. Hey, godless troll, how's it going? I was wondering where you were. Hey, what's up, godless troll? I feel like I've made it. I have a troll. Medevac helicopters go over my house all the time. Dumb rednecks love to hurt themselves.
fair. Right, your stills, the backwoods stills blow up. Stills are dangerous. That's why you don't keep your still in your house, kids.
I feel like the whole internet is partially responsible.
No, eating disorders happened before that. Like,
yeah, but we didn't exploit it like that, though.
No, yes, they did. It's just we didn't see it.
True, we did grow up in the waif era of the skinny 90s.
I
like
could not be the 1990s heroin chic. Like that was our aspiration. I'm like, no, I damn you, I tried. It didn't. I couldn't do it.
If I hear helicopters here, it's either the rescue helicopter or the police looking for crops they can steal. Mark, they do the same thing here. They steal people's marijuana and then sell it back to us. The cops do that all the time. Just so much buffering, 8 minutes behind. Oh, it's because you're driving. Thanks, godless troll. Thank you. And I do, and anyone, I like going by William because I was raised in the burbs and everyone calls me Will. So it makes my skin crawl when people call me Will.
I'm gonna have to disagree with this. Well, yes, folks may have been stuck in the 90s, but at both ends of the spectrum, the core issue that I may have surmised over experiences in time is control. And if bad shit happens to you, you're like, how can I make myself as unattractive as possible? And where do I get control? Some folks are like, I'm going to stuff my face so I look like huge. And no, I'm so unattractive that nobody wants to look or touch at me. And at the other end, it's like, I have power over my world because I controlled myself to say, I don't, I can survive on whatever nonsensical amounts of food and calories. It's control and body. Yeah, well, words. I don't know if it make any sense.
Most of the time, we need to butt out when it comes to other people's bodies, but when the influencers for unhealth or we know and love someone is killed. I agree. Like we see, but that's the thing. That's the weird thing about the internet is that we give each other. People have this weird entitlement, like they think they have the right to be in people's lives, and I think that's what I clash with a lot of people. Like I do all kinds of crazy stuff. You still don't have the right to like. I have a saying, like I know my faults. I know what's wrong with me. I will tell you, but you're not allowed to use them against me.
Oh, right. It's like the fact that kid, but like I'll lead with where I'm flawed. I'm like I'm short. I have huge chesticles. I'm kind of fluffy. You can't make fun of me about those
Exactly.
things because I laughed at myself today. Of like, oh my god, this top. If I tie it this way, we're gonna have a wardrobe malfunction, even though it way fits. But Ellie, you're too funny.
There's a point, but where's that like?
But if you're
Re-
not their family, we don't hit. No, you can.
recently in the South, and I got this off of Black Twitter, and you can look it up. There was a family that was driving to a funeral, and the cops pulled them over, and the cops felt the kids were disheveled, so they took the children.
Yeah, no, who,
Where's that
no,
line? Like me and my kid, we walk out the house looking like hillbillies. His
yeah,
hair, it would be under his hat like Sideshow Bob. Like we look rough. We don't get dressed up every day.
yeah, that's not, that's also a problem. We, First Amendment,
I wouldn't even let them, man. I'd make the papers that day. I wouldn't even let them, like, you see. But here in California, we have different laws. Like, the cops aren't even allowed to talk to minors anymore. Stills with no proper condenser are dangerous because they fill the air with alcohol vapor. Oh, we have a few people trying to make alcohol here. A few. I actually knew someone that had a copper kettle, and he's the one that told me when I was a kid, like, man, if you make the wrong kind of moonshine, you can literally go blind. Now I just have rye whiskey stuck in my head. Also, they lose so much that way. Also, people need to be able to make their own clothes on how make their own
choices.
choices on how they do. Oh, this is the second day it's starting to kick in. I used to walk to school at age 5. My mom would be arrested now.
Yeah, that's not, we used to, like, if the night lights were, if the street lights weren't on, you went out and played. You didn't sit in
Yep.
front of a screen and were, like, fed stupid propaganda BS nonsense. Like, yeah.
I live by this, Kilroy.
Yes.
Like, if you're not hurting anybody or animals, do what you want. I'm so glad I didn't finish the real sentence I was gonna say.
Yeah, no
But do
kids, no animals, we're good.
yeah, like
If you're over 18, you have the right to be a stupid schmuck and make poor choices.
especially in America, like you have the right to be an idiot. What
Yep,
somebody else is gonna do to you, they have the right to make a decision what they're gonna do to you.
right. And we
Because a
have the
lot
choice to how we're going to react to people commenting on how we do stuff. Fortunately, nobody's been like, oh, your nails are terrible, or you look like a butt face.
my sister had her kids taken away, and the judge said that they had until 6 p.m. to return the kids, or he'd charge them with kidnapping. That's what I'm. Someone was forced to retire over that. That's what I'm saying. Like, where is that line? I feel like in the West, we are too in. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're too up in each other's business. Like, um, like, like Doc used to always say, it's artificial strife. People make things up to pick fights. So I find this all the time. Like, people will have a view or an idea of what I'm supposed to be, so they walk up to me with an attitude. And I get apologies from people. They're like, "Oh, I thought you were somebody else or something else," you know. And I don't have a pre-existing idea of what people are in my head. So I treat them all equally worthless. No, I'm kidding. I treat them all equal, you know.
No, but it's true. We just, if I set the bar low, you can't beat me. As I snorted, oh, that was gross.
I just don't. It's just weird. It's just judgment is strange to me. But again, I live my own little world. It's like Shaun of the Dead around here. I walk around in my own little world where I mind my own business and try to live in peace. I try to. I am a Karen, and I will speak up. Even if you were what they thought, that doesn't mean they need to come at you. That's what I'm saying. I find it so weird. I find it so weird that people the way people treat each other, and it's because these people have these ideas in their head because we live on Twitter and Facebook and we live off of fear now. And like, you know, there's lots of I don't know. I'm more scared of the inevitability of life than anything else.
Right, the first 40 years were bad enough. What's going to happen next? And
Yeah. Social justice is the thing now.
yeah, oh god. Well, this kind of goes back to like the New York City adding height and weight as protected classes. So like, what does that even mean? Who's like this fat positive? I don't. Oh, don't get me started about like.
There's a difference between like here we have accessibility for people with disabilities.
Yeah.
We have accessibility for people who are not tall here. There are certain places where there's stuff on the shelf so that people of a certain height and you know what? I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about myself too.
No, you mean shorties want to be able to put our feet on the floor when we're taking a shit?
At my local Walmart, someone said something, and so they have stuff for people under 5'5". Like the shelves, they literally took down the bottom rung, and like everything.
So we
Yeah.
could reach. Shorties can reach the
Oh yeah,
shit.
especially the one by my house.
Oh god.
I see people on the net who want to save everybody is a messed up relationship. My experience is that if you try to interfere in one, both of the people in the relationship will get mad at you. So true. Social justice should be standing up for people, not micromanaging them. I agree. I agree. I agree. It's easy to get rid of methanol. It boils at a low temperature, so you just have to hold it still at 70 degrees until it stops and throw the first bit.
All right, we're learning how to distill moonshine from Mark. Thank you tonight for our moonshine educational lesson.
Please don't let me down. Gonna pour myself a drink and go wander around. I miss those old rye whiskey songs. There should be no protected classes. I feel like the only protected class is people with disabilities, though. That's who
But
we
we're
should
blurring
protect.
the thing. We're blurring the line of disabilities. Like, I'm short. Is that a disability? I'm 600 pounds. Is that a disability? Really? Like, I think that's where the tension is coming from, at least from my viewpoint and opinion.
I waited for years for my friend to leave her husband, but I never once told her to leave her husband. I just supported her. Exactly, because they will end up hating you. Have you watched Wolfpack Brothers? In that case, people didn't know what was going on in that family, huh? So crazy. No, I haven't. See, I could fall asleep to that. If you had an ASMR, if you looped that,
No, I know, but
I'd
the
pass
sound
out.
of Brunhilde is so satisfying. I need to, because that's the sound of her mechanics and stitching is just so beautiful and soothing.
I made quite a bit of moonshine in my younger days. I was an apprentice to a man who made a ton. That's why I'm like, oh, yesterday on Phoenix's channel, I was talking about how can I power a sewing machine? Like, how can I make a
Your
steampunk?
steampunk machine.
But the only way I know how is with the copper kettle. People are pretending to be disabled now. It's a thing. They want to be a victim. It drives me mentally insane. I won't say it, but there's a word that someone will say and it triggers me when they say it triggers me. Because if you were, you wouldn't be saying it. It's a documentary. Watch it. It's really. Oh, okay. Awesome. 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 I will. I am always looking for something new to watch. You would get some views from people who needed background noise. I am subscribed to Orcas. I am subscribed to like 5 or different Africa cams. I'm subscribed to a factory in Korea where all they do is work. All they do. I pass out. I put that on and you hear the from the machines. I'm out. I am out. It's like a never-ending Mr. Rogers tour. I fall asleep to all kinds of weird stuff, and of course, the Enterprise noises.
I know, and I feel like I really need to do some tutorials of like how to thread and maintain her because when she came home to me, I didn't see anything. It was like luck and a prayer and a few random things, but I've not. There's no other videos that I've seen about a white rotary hand crank.
You'd be surprised. Do you know when I Google certain things, I laugh when my YouTube videos pop up as answers?
I've looked at stuff for rewiring machines, and your stuff has popped up. And okay. So this random antiquated thing really no. I might be the only one left with this version in the world, the country.
Water night. I recently watched a video of somebody detaining a man that was disabled, and if I ever see, and the funny thing is, this guy lives in like Michigan or something, and I'm like, if I ever see you, brother. Oh, it makes me. That's why I'm like, I quit Twitter. I saw that video today. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with Twitter. You have officially ripped my heart out again, Twitter. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful for a long time.
Oh, we are basically neighbors. You're over here. You're my neighbor. No, this way.
Yeah, I'm way south. Could you be my? You know what's really funny? Before I was thinking of a premise for my channel before I turned it into the ADD mess it is now, and I was thinking about having like a Mr. Rogers kind of premise. You know, like Eddie Murphy had Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. I'm showing my age on SNL. And like
no, because they would. Do you think in today's day and age, Eddie Murphy would even be able to get a spot on SNL? Actually, no, he would because he's black. It's the white comedians. Who's the new big fat white guy who's going to make it big?
they wouldn't because he said offensive things. And he talked about races. He would name races, just like Richard Pryor. One of the greatest jokes of all time is his mafia joke, and that's real. Like it really happened, but it's funny. Like, but you couldn't tell that joke by today's standards because it's so politically incorrect the way he tells the joke. Or even when he talks to his comeback when he set himself on fire from smoking crack, like you could not. It would be considered politically incorrect by today's standards. Not the only one, Phoenix. The maker of the videos don't label them so people can find them.
Perfect. I know. I'm sure I'm not the only one. It was a joke, but you're too smart. I know there's others that exist.
Saturday night. You know, it's so funny you'd say that, Cameron. I haven't watched it in probably 25. Like I'm so lame. I like when I think
when Dan Aykroyd left, I was like, nope, I'm out, and I was like 7.
I watched it all the way up until like the Adam Sandler days. Like I loved that cast with Farley and David Spade.
Oh, that's good. And the Hans and Franz skit was a classic.
And even the Will Ferrell, the Night at the Roxbury when they bob their head to the song, that was my era. Like those skits got lame after a while, but I loved it every time they were on.
Yeah.
People need to do some SEO so we can find out their stuff. What's SEO?
Search engine optimization. Like use good keywords and tags so that the algorithms can find you. So if I should start putting in my description like sewing today on a white rotary hand crank or.
So, of all the controversial topics that we're gonna have tonight, let's have a quick hate stream about Adam Sandler. So,
no.
Jim Carrey evolved. If you like watch Robin Williams' career, he evolved. Adam Sandler drives me crazy.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I'm gonna stand up. I'm the steel manning for Adam Sandler tonight. Potty humor, and I do need to watch it. The one about him being a Jewish diamond dealer. I've heard that was good. He's got some range, and potty humor makes me laugh.
You know, it's funny you'd say that. I saw a preview for that movie. I'd watch that movie. I don't
It's
completely
on
dislike
Netflix
it.
right now.
Okay, good. I need something new to watch. I just see
All
the
right.
funny thing is I don't investigate. I see these things and I just assume. You know what's funny? I probably have all the streaming services.
You
Anyways,
delete stuff you don't watch.
you know what's really funny? I was thinking about getting there's a site that condenses all your stuff. But I
Yeah.
was like, why don't I just do that?
Yeah, you should look at your credit card, your bank statements, and be like, oh, I don't need this anymore.
SNL doesn't hit my funny bone. Not offended by it or anything. It just doesn't amuse me. I'm the same. Like comedy doesn't hit the same way it does though. Like back in the day, I would be giggling, like stomach laughing, and now it's just not there. Maybe we're all just cynical. And come on, Adam Sandler just makes movies so he can dress like a 16-year-old and hang out with an attractive woman he'd never be able to hang out with normally. I say that about people in streaming that they become popular online because they'd never be able to pull that particular person in real life. Oh, oh, that's funny. I agree with you, Kilroy. Kilroy and I went to the same school. I agree with you, Kilroy, on that one. I say that about a few actors, though. Gosh, there's who else? Well, there was someone else where I was like, man, they make the same movie over and over and over.
There's a lot of them, but folks get typecast and are like forced into the same stupid role. Like, what did Sylvester Stallone do that was not a like ammo packed, gun toting fighter movie?
Even Arnold did even though Arnie, most of his movies were the same. Did Arnold Schwarzenegger ever have?
Juniors, and
Oh, that's right.
he tried to be funny with Danny DeVito.
Twins was awesome.
Twins was good. Yeah, that's one I was actually thinking of. We should watch. All right, the mission for the week. Let's watch Fubar on Netflix with Arnold, and we'll talk about it on Sunday.
Fubar was a very famous gay bar in Hollywood that died, and people literally cried when the gay bar
Oh
went
God,
under.
we're using each other for sexy clout. Oh God, I'm
Yeah,
so. Oh,
I got cowboy chic.
sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my skirt. Don't tell me no.
Cowboy realness and smoking too, like an idiot. Do not take any medical advice, or
Around this here sewing machine.
John
John
Candy was.
Candy.
Oh,
Oh God.
but come on, like I hate to be a homer, but if you have not seen Uncle Buck, I'm Uncle Buck. You mess with me, I'm gonna come at you with my nine drive. You know, like oh come on, Uncle Buck was awesome. Kindergarten Cop.
Yes. Yep.
Wasn't Kindergarten Cop filmed in Oregon?
I don't know. I don't care that much about things to know.
My ex-girlfriend from Oregon, she pops up every once in a while, and we were talking about that the other day because she goes to Astoria all the time, and she takes pictures of the Goonies house.
Oh, right. That just got sold for a shit ton of money.
Which is cool though, because the person next door was like, "Oh, you guys need to go away," and the person who was like, "No, Goonies are welcome here." So I like that. Like LA's like that. Like there are like the movie Car Wash. That car wash is still there.
Does it actually wash cars?
Yeah,
Okay.
and because of the design, most car washes in LA are made with the 1960s design still. So they have that retro look. Astoria, Oregon is where Kindergarten Cop was filmed. That's what I
Astoria.
thought.
I liked Astoria. And that's not too far from the Sea Lion Caves, which is a fun detour.
I think that's what it was. Is she went to a museum that had all of the stuff from all the movies in Oregon. Which,
Mm-mm.
if you don't know, America is famous for tiny museums. At some point, we're gonna have to talk to you to have the perfect voice for surfer. I purposely named one of the baby penguins Noah so that he could blow up. Hey, I've been canceled 1,000 times. If you want to use my voice as a surfer, I'm down. I actually toned down my surfer. Hey, skits.
Hey, hey, is this where the cool kids are hanging out?
That's what I heard. Commander, I turned down my surf talk because nobody says tubular or stoked anymore except for people where I live.
Tres leches cake.
Oh, that looks good.
No big fatties around here. Did you live today? I shouldn't call anybody out because I'm McFatty. The only work I've gotten is my right arm on Brunhild.
One big buff right arm.
Look
Yeah,
at those striations. There's lines.
that whole neighborhood, Alibaba, everything remains the same. LA is weird like that. They have weird historic spots. And because there were so many famous people in that movie and people still go there. So it's a preserved area. In my town, we have a preserved area for an old silent film star.
Oh.
His name's William S. Hart. And I've been doxxed so many times, I don't care. He was a famous famous cowboy, and we weirdly have buffalo in my town because of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it looks like torture because they're huge. Can you still do you go to this? Like I go to the zoo, and every year, as the years have gone on, it's a good place to take your kid. And as Isaiah has become older, like it's a prison for animals.
Pretty much. Like I took my kiddo, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, down to your neck of the woods, down to SeaWorld and the safari area, and just seeing the poor orca with the fins all hanging over, like swimming around little circles, like that you could just see it's depressed.
Absolutely.
Hey, Gilroy.
Ooh. Oh, yummy. Oh, she's talking about the cake. Sorry, my mind's so in the gutter. Sorry, butterfly. Sorry. I'm a goonie. Sorry. Tres leches does sound good, though. Do you have a Vallarta by your house or a Mexican supermarket?
Yeah, we have at least a Mexican market.
Ours, it's a party in there. They're bumping music. Oh man, I love going in there. I love going in there.
All right, I'm ready to wave up the white flag right now.
Oh, with your sewing machine?
I just can't thread the needle right now. The light's not in the right spot, and I literally can't see the eye of the needle. And it's stressing me out.
It happened to me like 3 or 4 weeks ago on your stream. I lost it. I went through 4. I panicked. I panicked. Imagine sitting in a room of sewing machines and not finding one that worked. I had a crisis. That day. New zoos are a lot better.
Take this.
I know.
Skip, did you say you went to SeaWorld? And you went recently?
I think it was either last year or the year before.
Okay, that's after with all their new implemented stuff, and the fish are still depressed. See, they lied.
Absolutely.
Fish don't want tanks.
Oh wow. Salsa is so I miss dancing. That's all pre-COVID. Now people lie so much. I'm scared to go in big crowds in LA because I don't know. People tell so many lies.
So. Is it sad that I was originally going, ooh, there's a place I can go and eat salsa? There's like a club just for that?
I did not. Okay. Actually, once I honestly literally did just change my needle from my giant box of Schmidt's needles, but it might have accidentally hit a plate from trying this stupid feet that don't fit.
I just, oh man, it's the worst. I had a crisis that day, so I get it.
But I can't. It's the problem is like I can't thread it because my eyes can't see the whole of the needle because it's a this one and not a. It's horizontal and not perpendicular to my eyesight, and my light's not set up, so it's a. I can't see the hole. I can't find the hole. It's not something I can be like
Just
add
like
the
Tom
flower and find the hole, the wet spot. Like it's not going to work this time.
My innuendo meter is freaking exploding when you were talking right now.
Just like
I know. I
Tom
feel like I'm just going to call it out for myself because I'll just do it.
The closest Mexican store is 2 hours away. I would cry. I would be in tears.
Damn.
I'd be in the
And it's
car
not
eating
even
guacamole on the.
Mexican, it's like Puerto Rican, so it's not even the same ballpark. Thread the needle and then put it on the machine. All right. Where are you going, human?
I'm
David,
so happy
no.
they did not let
Are you gonna?
PETA.
Oh, PETA.
Yeah.
See, I read it like it's PETA. People eating tasty animals.
Yes.
I think you should. I think you just changed it
Oh,
recently. You showed
shout
us
out
your
for water.
Shrek
I
15.
think you did it.
What was that?
You
PETA
have
have
needle
killed it.
threadage.
PETA
Thank you. That was a great tip.
Maybe take the needle out and thread it before putting it back in.
Yes, I appreciate that. I've never done that, and thank you.
It's a good idea.
Threaded needle,
Why the hell
and
not?
Phoenix is not gonna like have a meltdown for the third time, fourth time in this stream. We've had a lot of meltdowns.
You had it to the small human and say, "Do this for me."
So Skits and I are gonna move to Canada, and we're gonna live by Alibaba and open up a Mexican grocery store and get rich. Bring
We'll
a ton
be
of avocados.
millionaires. What's a
Right, and
million
if all
pesos
goes
worth?
bad, the maid will come and help clean it out. And I need the acronym made and not the what you think I mean. Unless
Do you know what's
what
so
I
funny? I could grow. Do you know it'd be so funny if they like raided my farm? They thought it was a pot farm, and I was really just growing avocados inside. I
That
bet
would
you'd
take
make
a
a
lot of
killing. I
Mm.
bet
They'd probably find it like, these are illegal avocados. Take them.
Well, it's not like in America we have a tax for everything, so that's a loophole to arrest you because you didn't pay. Like, oh, you didn't pay taxes on this. Oh, you didn't. Like, how do you feel about a fishing license?
Well, I get mine for free, so.
See, that's what I'm saying. I have to pay for mine.
I don't go fishing often enough, so I can't.
And
But
I'm
yeah,
like,
it is ridiculously and almost prohibitively expensive. Like,
and the book.
especially, sorry, God.
No, go ahead.
Especially if you get into like, specialized kind of fishing and or hunting, like abalone, and have to get tags and like it gets expensive.
Salmon up here. Salmon.
Oh, salmon, yeah, of course.
My ex-wife got me into deep sea fishing, and they hand you a book. They're like, everything in this book you can't fish.
Oh my God! It requires a college level textbook thickness. You should just not even try. Don't do it.
When
you need a degree in biology to do deep sea fishing in Southern California.
when abalone diving was still illegal in California, I don't think it is anymore. Like they had such strict like restrictions on it, and rightfully so, because they got fish to hell. But like they had like, if you had to have your tags in the water with you.
Yep.
And before you left the water with your abalone, they had to be tagged off and everything like that. And like they would have like DFG waiting on the shore, and they're like, yeah, and it was like $36,000 per violation. Like it was ridiculous. Like
36,000.
they're abalone are like one of the most protective sea bugs out there. It's ridiculous.
the sea insects.
So apparently, excuse me, in Australia, you don't need a fishing license if you're on a pension.
Interesting.
I used to catch bait fish, license for that. There's no fishing license days here, anyways, resulting in huge amounts of litter on riverboats. I love that there are fishing licenses. It's different here because people aren't like Californians are outdoorsy, but they're not outdoorsy.
Right, they want to flex like they pretend to go outside, but we're like catch and gut a fish. Yeah, no, I'm too scared of like hunting my own food. I can't do that.
Well, down here, they'd like going outside is grabbing your Louis Vuitton purse and like walking around like Santa Monica or Beverly Hills. Like, I literally take my son to the lake that's like a half an hour from my house, and I'm like, "We're going fishing, bro. Bring a pole. There's no Wi-Fi here. You know, let's go have
his own
fun."
little Wi-Fi hotspot and like make it happen.
No,
Now there is.
It's my Wi-Fi. I've got solar, battery powered. I can do this.
They've ruined the lake though because they did give the one that I'm thinking of has Wi-Fi. The one by my house does not, but the one that's way up the hill has Wi-Fi. I'm not a vegetarian, but if I had to kill it myself, see, my parents taught me young, so I've never had that fear. Like I was like gutting fish at a young age. So I never thought they were gross. You know what I'm saying?
My DFW post just did something absolutely hilarious. So some fair lamb, like it didn't make weight and didn't qualify for it, whatever. So to be, I guess, nice or whatever, they bought the lamb from the scout or Girl Scout or whatever.
The 4-H post, whatever.
Thank you 4-H. And so they did this like you put a little hat on them and like our newest member, and they like are doing this, it's the newest member, blah blah blah, Lucibel. I'm like, this is horrible. You're literally next week going to put a bullet in the back of its head and like,
and eat it and be like,
and you're like, dude, this is our newest member. Is this
So
what we do to our newest members?
Rule number 1 is you never name your food.
No, you do, but you name them like Martha Stewart said, lamb chops and pork chops. You name them after food, so you're like, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna call you what you are.
Don't forget about the giblets.
Right? Exactly. They make the best gravy.
Do you know? I don't know. I'm like when I was a kid, we went to a state fair, and my father took a bunch of Boy Scouts, and we witnessed the slaughtering of pigs. And he was literally trying to teach us to man up. They would put a scout leader in jail if they did that nowadays. Because the guy literally, like, there was no barrier between us. We stood around the guy and he slaughtered a pig in front of us. That's how you make
that could be traumatizing.
But it shouldn't be, because I think we do need to know, like, what's going on here? Less desensitized. Where does your food come from?
Yeah.
Human up.
That's why I have no reaction towards it now, because I'm like, nah, man, like, I'm hungry. Like, I don't know. See, I have a weird thing. I believe in humans over everything. So I believe in the human race. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but y'all better hope that the apocalypse doesn't happen around me. I will become a warlord and have an army of people, and you will follow my doctrine.
Do you want to not be naked? We got you hooked up here.
It would literally just be humanism with guns. Literally. That's literally what it would. That's all it would be.
Humanism. Like, I don't want to be part machine, or I am partly bionic, but not that much. But...
No, old school, AC Grayling, kind of humanism, where it's more like be kind to your brother no matter what. Yeah, that's it. Like old school humanism. I'm a fan of AC Grayling. If you're bored, look up AC Grayling on YouTube. He goes off. He just it's more of a practical way of thinking. That's all. But again, like I said earlier when I started the stream, I watched people break up today because they were fighting over religion. Guys, I feel like telling them, like, I've been lurking and watching you guys for years. Don't break up. Don't break up.
Oh yeah, when I was Mark Short there, like I used to hunt waterfowl a lot, and
Yep.
most ducks and geese, right? You know, they eat little plant stuff, maybe insects at most, you know, and they don't taste necessarily bad. They taste like, you know, a relatively gamey
Like
piece of
wild
meat.
game. Like
Yeah,
meat.
yeah, but where we would go hunting, there was a type of duck called a merganser.
Hmm.
And if you look this duck up, it looks like a straight up dino duck. Like it's got teeth. It is a duck with teeth. And the problem is they eat fish and they taste terrible. They smell terrible. And so like we wouldn't like as a joke sometimes we would take the meat and make jerky out of them like eat this. But for the most part, if we killed a merganser, because we'd never waste it. If we killed it, we would
Right, you gotta
use
eat that.
it,
You did
but
it.
we'd feed it to the dog. You know, we'd make dog food out of it.
Oh, you should have saved the feathers for pillows. Did you take care of? Did you recycle all of it? Like
Oh
you were
no, no, not at all. We just breasted them out.
waster. You wasted stuff.
I agree with you, Waternay. Someone asked what I would do if the electricity went out. I said, I have an antique gas stove with no ignition and a turtle sewing machine. I'll be all right. I agree. Oh, that reminds me. That's going to bring me to my unboxing. I bought 2 more of those flashlights that I was talking
Oh,
about.
Flashlights?
yeah.
I bought these crazy bright flashlights, like crazy bright.
I just bought a crazy bright flashlight too. Let's see if it what it does to my poor camera. Oh wow!
I'm blinded by the light.
Yeah, this thing is ridiculous.
Oh, that's bright. That's like this stupid thing. Ah!
Yeah.
Why did I do that to myself again?
Ah,
I
God!
did that to myself.
Again. You
I
should
can
have
see
looked the
through my
first time.
eyelids.
Well, and you.
We officially have gone back like 15 years because we're playing with flashlights on a stream.
Yeah, start raving out.
I did this yesterday, like, and you know what? These may be illegal in the state of California. I don't care. This is a 6-cell mag light. This thing, this tiny little thing that looks like we should be dating is 10 times brighter than this. Literally 10 times brighter.
Oh,
It's
so you're not a
crazy.
size queen. All right.
If you're nice, if you're
short.
nice to me,
Hey,
if you're
it's
nice
how
to
you
me.
use it, not how big it is. Is as I've been told.
Chris Rock told a joke a long time ago. When you see someone with somebody that you don't think they should be with, it's because that person was good to that person. So they were good to me. I'm not a size queen. Just be good. No, I honestly, I have a real rule. It's don't ruin my life. That is my date. That's like rule number 1 in dating sewing. Are you mature enough to not ruin my life?
One neat thing I just found out about this this flashlight I had is not only, you know, is it rechargeable just with the USB, but it has a USB on there that you can, if in an emergency, like charge your phone from this battery.
Oh, I like that.
What's going to charge your phone? You still need another solar. Still need another charging source.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you had, like, you know, in an emergency and you had your flashlight and a dead cell phone, you could charge, you know, your phone from your flashlight, and then
That's awesome.
hopefully,
Okay.
I don't know.
The power going out showed me that I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was, and it was more or less I just need more candles and I need to update my flashlight collection.
Oh, that's what
Yeah, I'm going camping next week, and that's why I bought the new flashlight.
Heck yeah. You need like Kilroy said though, like because of the technology, they're bright as hell and they're affordable too. Like this is an Energizer that I non-sponsored. spot here, an Energizer that I bought off, off of Amazon. I've got a crazy
Unbranded something off of Amazon.
I've got a crazy bright light here. It's good for hunting while the battery lasts, but I have to be quick. Technology's funny that way. Surprisingly,
wow,
a
you
number
can
of
see
people
the
are.
beam
Oh,
in my camera.
exactly.
Oh
No,
my god.
it changes the lighting of your camera and everything. Like when you turn it off and on, your camera's trying to adjust. I
Oh,
know,
that's
I can see how bright that is.
crazy.
This
I'm way too fascinated with this.
this is so true. It's not even funny. Surprisingly, a number of people are not mature enough to pass the "Don't ruin my life" test. That's why I sit here and sew by myself.
I'd say that's why I'm single.
Yeah, damn right. If it gives you top of juice skids, you can buy the same time.
Oh, but see, yeah. I can live in the 1880s. Fair.
I'm the same way. When the power goes, see, but I'm pre-internet, as we all are here. I'm fine. Have a great night, Butterfly. It was great seeing you as always.
And
Have a
Butterfly.
great night.
Is that Star Trek again in the background?
Yes. I have I have all of season 2 on Columbia House and bits and bobs of season 1 and 3 of the original series.
I'm still angry at Netflix for taking all the Star Treks off.
It's because of Paramount Plus. It's because of privatization of everything.
There's, yeah, like what I remember when cutting the cable, right? I was like, oh, I don't have to spend $150 on cable. I can just go get Netflix for $12, and now it's like I have to have Netflix and Paramount and Showtime and HBO and some random whatever Hulu.
Cable, like the basic Spectrum cable around here is 100-something bucks. If I added all of the services that I have together, it's more than that. It's
Right.
$10. Netflix went up, Paramount Plus goes up, and they're like, oh, I'll see the notification. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm an addict. I just want to watch my show, not realizing they're charging me an extra $5, and I'm just agreeing to it because there's nothing I can do.
Netflix into my veins.
I was busy, but a toad that needs a 22. Those are how big are these things? Are these like
Cane toads are
size?
massive.
Like
Canes
is
are
like
tough,
bigger
as
than
I
I am
remember.
around. It sounds like
They're like, I think cane toads are like yay big. Like they're
Well,
like
little.
22 is not little.
It's
No, they're
pretty
not.
small.
Well,
okay, I don't know all my, sorry, I'm not well versed in all my sizes, but right.
and I've learned to not flash
Not
my
the size
camera.
that counts.
Not a 55 or 50K.
Oh, 50 cal. Yeah, no, that would obliterate, be a little mist of what used to be a
Talk
just be a
about
toad.
You would miss because it's so big,
Yeah.
Or,
You couldn't miss anything with a 50K. You're like, I'm in the radius.
It's so funny. When I lived in Stockton in Central California, someone I knew, they owned, my ex-wife's father had a property with a barn, and he loved me because I was the only one who knew how to properly take care of his horse. But anyways, the rats would come up from underground and eat all the chicken food, and they would go off with them at 22s at night.
Damn.
Good old Stockton. Stockton is no joke.
I was just watching something last night. It was about like the most dangerous or disgusting jobs in the past, and it was talking about how back in the Renaissance era and everything like that, to where it was very popular for the poor to go through the newly made sewer systems that they had there and go looking for coins and things of value. And they were telling like their stories about they stopped going in by themselves, because if you went in by yourself, it was relatively common that you'd be taken out. Like a bunch of rats would overrun you and just eat you to death. So they went in in groups of like 3 or more, so they could because the rats wouldn't fuck with them if there were that many.
Oh, that's just awful. You know what? That's like I heard what happens when a bear attack happens. I will never go in the woods again. I don't think I'll ever go in the woods ever again. Ever again.
Cocaine bear.
I'm joking when I say
That's
that,
an
but
old story. I heard. Oh, who did that? Mr. Ballin did that.
Mr.
story?
Ballin. Yeah. Yeah.
but
And then,
I recently saw this thing about basically this guy was like talking about bear attacks. They just they basically stand on you and eat until they're full, and they will do it while you're alive.
yum, yum, yum.
So like
Yeah,
Hannibal Lecter, but bear style.
Oh, I was like, oh,
Ah,
never again, bear, never again. I'm gonna stay in the city.
Oh my!
let's see if I can find that
actually,
picture.
there was. I saw in the news a couple of recent, not too far off, that 2 different cars got broken into by bears because the cars had food in them. Don't leave food in your cars if you live where there's bears.
Good
I'm
advice.
completely-
Oh,
can
ticks,
see it.
bears, coyotes, screw that. I'm sticking to the park. I just stick to my house and my backyard, but I still have ticks and bears and sometimes coyotes and wolves and foxes.
Ticks and bears and. Ugh.
I'm
Right,
good
this
with
is like-
nature. Like I just need a good running start or a good brick wall behind me, or like a 30-06 or something, or we could equal out the
Let's
equal it
level
out.
the playing field.
Some of those will pick up, but this was literally taken just down the street from here.
Oh yeah.
That's like the one I took up in
Throw
Yeah,
that up
there.
again. Throw that up again.
up in the tree. It was like,
I
hey,
got another picture there.
Oh, that's beefy. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that's beefy.
Yeah, the person posted like, it's the California grizzly, which is unfortunately extinct. But I think it's just a very big brown bear or black bear.
yeah.
That's
And
brown.
but yeah, it's
I know. I'm just
it's a
giving you a hard
big
time.
They're not
bear.
black, that bear's brown.
Yeah, but yeah, that thing was massive. Yeah, my buddy. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
my buddy took it. Right, but it's on his property. He's like freaking out because the thing is massive.
that's awesome. Yeah, you just let it. You let it. It's so big. You let
Yeah.
it do its thing.
You do you, boo.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. And here, like in California, we take pictures of deer. And we're like,
Ooh.
don't go near that thing. Don't go near that thing. That thing about tigers, that's yet another thing to stay away from. But I am in Africa. I was so shocked to
Africa.
find out how many hippopotamuses are evil.
They
eat
kill more people than sharks.
I was like, what? I'm the idiot that would walk up to one because I think I'm like, oh, they look goofy. No, they'll eat you.
I got
And they-
they were at the safari place down in your area. Got to saw a lot of them.
It's because I've watched Madagascar too many times. I just hear Jada Pinkett Smith's voice. I think they're all like sassy.
I've never seen it.
Like I've seen Fantasia. Why aren't you doing ballet?
Yeah, exactly. No, they're awful. Otters too. If you're ever like, otters are evil. Otters are they're cute. They sleep together. They treat each other terrible.
They do awful things to each other to death.
Oh my, otters are the worst. That's like when I found out why killer whales are called. I was like, Shamu's evil. Killer whales are the biggest dicks in the ocean.
They are beasts. Alpha
Okay.
predators. Like
Can I disrupt and ask a serious question? Do I just like literally take all of this horrible electrical tape off and unwind this and save the parts and then like figure out how to rewire it later?
Okay, so when taking something apart, save everything that you think looks important.
I
Yeah,
would,
there's
and also
like
take a picture of it with your cell phone before you take.
this double pronged piece. I'm like, I've not seen a a DP electrical wire that's not for the wall.
I have them all over the
Sorry,
place. There's-
Smith, you're like, what did I just say?
No, because
Was
I'm,
it dual pole or dual polarization?
I
Or...
don't know.
I went straight to double penetration.
It's
Sorry.
Yeah, I
two, there's two. It's circular, 2 holes.
that's
and
one thing that
circular.
I would be relatively kind of concerned, and you may know this already, but a lot of some of the older electronics, they have polarized
Yes.
electronics inside, and they don't have the backwards,
Mm-hmm.
Right, I
the
thought there was
polarized
supposed to be
plugs. So.
3, and this has only got 2 holes, so I don't have a 3-hole system. I've got a 2-hole system.
And if it can be like backwards, it can actually blow things up because
Okay.
See, I told you, otters are evil. See, Alibaba knows.
Yeah,
They're thieves. I'm
Can't
kidding.
deal with it.
sturdy D.
You scare me too much.
Save the connectors unless they have burn marks.
Yeah.
What I've
Is it just taped together, or are they like electrical nuts or anything?
No, I think Ailey told me yesterday that's original something fiber that's missing in places and electrical tape hold by it.
It's literally
we're-
wadding and
we're
paper.
hoping and prayer on this machine.
Oh, it's DC. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to have DC. Makes sense.
I've learned over the years. That's why even with a blind stitcher, I'm literally soaking each individual part because I'll be so mad if I'm the one who breaks it.
No, the parts work. It's just the motor and the wiring that I'm like scared the piss out of.
You know, also
Yeah.
the person who had it probably plugged it probably had a reliable plug to plug it into, you know?
And the person that sold this to me does not look like a sewer, so they said it like worked, but I don't know what their definition of was like ISO shit for regular.
It went up and down.
Yeah, right. And
I don't know how to
that it does, but
I don't know how to say this any other way, but I've purchased sewing machines off of Tweakers before. Tons. Swap me.
They were stolen, weren't they?
Swap me. Swap me.
This machine they tried to sell this for $200 and then dropped it down to $50. And I was like, this machine is not worth $200. The electrics are sketchy, and I worry about blowing up my house.
Worked for some sellers. Exactly.
Like,
You know what?
yeah.
Also online, a lot of and I've even said this, and maybe I should follow through with the sentence. Like when you find a sewing machine in a thrift store, you have to turn it to see if it'll turn over, because if it won't, unless you don't know what you're doing, like you literally just are buying a dud.
Right, that part I know works, but that's all I feel safe.
Here's a question for both of you. Okay. What is your biggest, assuming you have one, sewing machine dud moment where you bought something and you're so excited, you spent a bunch of money on it, or you were just just really excited to have it and it was just complete garbage?
Not really, but kind of my Baby Lock Sophia 2 embroidery sewing machine. I need to know how to repair that one regularly because that's my Harley of sewing machines.
Harley.
That's a really good question. Probably every serger I've ever purchased.
Okay.
Sergers hate me. They hate me.
I only own 7 sewing machines now, so I don't have 90 in my collection. Oh, there is a difference in numbers and experience. I've tried to be good up until this point in my life. Godless is a bad influence.
I am. And anyone, if anyone's ever looking for views, tiny sewing machines get a ton of views. I think they are the most useless, crappy machines. Quote me. Cut that. Put me in tiny sewing machine hell. I don't care.
That's what I didn't get at the Goodwill today. There was a handy stitcher for $8, and I was like, do I buy this to bring it home to stream with tonight just to be stupid, or do I leave it at the Goodwill? And I left it.
I had some work done out of my house. Found later they had stolen a 306.
Who knows about stealing sewing machines? Those are evil humans.
I would fight. Like in my head, if they can't describe to me the sewing machine, I think it's stolen.
Right.
Fair.
Like if they don't know anything about it. There's a Janome brand new in the box in this room I got for $25. It sells for $200. I may or may not have just resold it, but Different story for a different day.
It might have fallen off a truck.
Well, I go to the SWAT meet a
Some
lot.
Mexicans were out back needing work, and I was like, "Hey, you want to sew shit?"
I saw a special about people. They went like basically the cops raided a SWAT meet in Oakland. 90% of the stuff at the swap meet was stolen. 90%. And so I look at all swap meets like that. And as someone who owns power tools that are so expensive, I would be so mad. Like I'd have to take a loan out to replace certain things. I know how it is. Like when I walk through, I'm like, how did they get a $10,000 pipe bender that they're selling for $100? That I'll talk them down to 80.
That's a lot of questions.
It makes me so angry because some guy who earned that and paid for it, you know.
Right, because somebody worked their whole life. Only 7. Okay, like let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, I'm only at 6.
Do you have a
only
serger?
have 6. Well, that's included. Yes, I have a serger, an embroidery machine, a Kenmore from like 2001, Brunhild, and this new improved Eldridge rotary. That's my collection.
I have the same problem, Alibaba. I have the same problem. There's a few machines where I don't have any cams for them. It's different with Singer because they're easily interchangeable.
I know who bought sewing machines and threw out the parts over the years. Like that's just sad. Weren't there hoarders?
I feel the exact same way, Phoenix. I'm like standing in public by myself, like, who would defile this beautiful machine by not saving all the pieces?
We're
Like,
came with all these parts, damn it. Where are you all? You do exist. Come to me. Come to the human.
I talk about it all the time. Like, I got my 301A. It came with all original parts, manual, everything.
Oh my God. I've showed the only manual I have. It's for my Kenmore.
You know, some people inherit from family and don't know that great Aunt Mildred's machine is a desirable collectible. That is true. And that's another thing. They may not recognize the cam box and just not know it. They might think it's for a saw or something, you know?
Right, so they take it to the Goodwill and they don't know what they're selling either, so they get separated at the sell station.
People should be allowed to shoot thieves on site. I agree with you. Do you know where I live? Where I live, you get in trouble if you do that. Like thieves are allowed to sue you. If I was to hit a thief with a baseball bat, he could sue me. But like, bro, you're trying to break in my house. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. I just need it gone. Oh, that is. I know you're on drugs. I know you're on drugs when you say that to me. Like when people say that to me, one day, let me see if I can get my camera angle to my. I constantly talk about this table, but I actually use it as a piece of furniture. But there's a sewing machine there. Let me see. Is that the camera? Yes, that's the camera. Let me see if I can move the angle a little bit. That's a beautiful picture, Skits.
Oh, thank you. That's me and my mom. The day I graduated basic training.
I was gonna guess Momo.
I can tell
she has.
I can tell it's basic training because you're like a beanpole.
Exactly.
You're not decorated enough. You don't have a jacket.
Yeah, I was a buck 85 there.
You're a buck 85. Oh my God, I hate it. I will never weigh that much. Do not ever want to, but I can't handle. I can't handle that size.
Let's see if I can angle this.
That's 6'2". That was.
Yeah, you were a beanpole, and it looks like it.
I can't.
I may or may not have had the nickname of Skeletor.
Yeah, you're a beanpole, and it looks like it.
Whoa!
I will neither confirm nor deny. I looked like a beanpole.
Oh, that worked. Detachable keyboards are the worst.
Detachable.
I forgot it was all the way over there.
Detachable keyboard.
So you can't see it, but all that
there.
everything on that table That is a white rotary, and it's not even the table doesn't even fit the machine. But someone made it as a piece of furniture, and it's worth a lot of money. It came with all the pieces. It's in excellent condition. I bought it for $50.
Mm.
Your red one looks like a heavy mixer. The one on top of your TV.
Oh, that's a mini sewing machine. Give me a second. Young Mr. Sewing is here.
Oh, we've got Hands. Hands is in the house. Okay, can I do my peacock? That's like the only one I know.
I just said peacock. I'm like, oh, that'd be an interesting one.
No, it's just this angry face with a head.
Ah!
I'm the T-Rex.
What was that? It was a hand.
Can't figure it out. Stuff. Oh, fudge.
That's the back of the head.
Sewing to my stuff. Hey, oh, where is the school threading? What? Yep. Gone past the point of being able to sew tonight. How are you tonight, honey?
What are you working on?
I get back your chair with my project.
The last thing I saw you working on was your top thing.
Oh no, I'm wearing that.
Oh, you're actually wearing that, as a matter of fact. Okay.
Actually, that is did. Plus I finished my bear and strawberry and bee skirt.
Cool.
I'm also wearing that does not match. I have my summer house coat because hey, hands. And I
didn't get this.
Sewing the binding around my trapeze boot so I don't hurt my ankle and feet anymore.
Okay.
But when the binding jumped 3 times and I sewed the binding and knot onto the vinyl and lining fabric, I was like, I can't do this right now. So I gave up. I was like, no, can't handle you right now. What else did I do? Me and my Tucker feet still fight. I know I've seen so many videos of like, this is how you use your Tucker foot, and it's supposed to make beautiful pleats and tuck stuff. Not that kind of tucking, I mean fabric, and we're still fighting.
I actually have an Elena grasshopper. I hate it. It won't come up to speed. And the funny thing is I have another mini Elena, and it's a solid mini sewing machine. It won't come up to speed either. It's so gunked.
Exactly. I can be small, but I'm not beanpole. I'm hourglass shaped. I can't. It's just how I was modeled.
I don't miss
wanted
being.
to weigh that again. I have to lose the 35 pounds. Yeah, that's not happening.
Well, as somebody who's been thin, like when you lose a certain amount of weight, you start looking ill. Like it's a health issue. I think it's a health issue. Like there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of weight on you.
But there's too much, and we haven't found that like healthy place. I have a big rib cage. Yeah, I have gigantic chesticles.
I agree with you. Like in America, we have no in between. There is a restaurant on the border of Blythe. It's in Blythe, Arizona, which is literally on the border of California and Arizona on the 10 freeway. They serve plates that like they're huge. You order pancakes, you get 5 of them, and they're huge. And you get
5 pancakes, one, and I'm stuffed.
Oh,
what is it that the place was called a heart attack grill or something like that? If you weigh over 300 pounds, you get free or something.
Seriously, yes. That's not right.
I've been to both. The one I've went to the original one in Vegas. The original one.
Yes, the vampire boulder holder is here. Thank you, Kilroy. You make me laugh, and you're adorable.
You're adorable.
At the one in Vegas, I watched 2 men who both weighed over 400 pounds. They were praised because they were about to get a free meal.
No, that's not. No, that's being purposefully fat like that is not a protected class. You did this to yourself. The answer is no. No, 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 no,
And
no.
my friend who was she's very famous in a certain direction. So we were both skinny people. Together we didn't weigh over 280
And there's
because we stood on the scale together.
Remember the episode of Simpsons where Homer's trying to gain all the weight
Oh,
to become
yeah, yeah.
disabled, and like he's rubbing like the crusty burger on the wall, and you can like see through it because it's so greasy.
That's real. That's real,
real.
dude. Back in the day, Ruffles literally had oil on the bottom of the bag. They were so greasy. And Lay's.
don't.
So we have reached the food portion of the
I
Goddess
know. I'm
Island
like,
panel.
don't make me grab my bag of curry and crab flavored ridged Lay's chips from India because I'm kind of hungry now. But eating on stream is gross.
I'm on my coffee diet today, and I ate like half a pizza before the stream started.
Oh my god, no McMuffins! Stop it!
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I love how you said eating on stream is gross. I just got finished eating a piece of cake on stream.
Well, some people, I'll agree. It depends. Like, I used
Top show.
a couple years ago, I watched the mukbang people, the mukbang circuit. Now it
Yeah.
makes me physically ill. But so it depends. Like I can now not watch people eat on stream. It literally, I'm like, nope. And I'm not talking about like a cake. I'm talking about Nick Avocado or Foodie Beauty.
Yeah.
Some people will call her a Foodie Booty.
With her new Qatari husband or wherever she's living now. Spicy dill chip.
Like I said yesterday, I attempted to be a Muslim when I was younger. I wanted to be NOI so bad. I had the suit. I studied the 420s. I did everything. I'm sorry, the 120s. 420s is what I do. 120s is their book. I studied all of it, and then I realized they weren't gonna let me be myself. Let's just put it that way. That religion is very suppressive, and she will not last very long. They have rules about everything. Skits is over there dying, and Phoenix is doing interpretive dance in front of the wall. I'm kidding.
What happens when you take a big hit?
Mukbangs, I die daily on streams. Mukbangs are just blech. They are gross.
Yeah, it's like it's. Let's take something that's delicious and wonderful, and just make it disgusting. Right?
And please don't ruin KFC for me and Taco Bell and like. I did laugh though when KFC first went to the UK. Every YouTuber was like, "Let's do a KFC mukbang," and I'm like, "Bro, I've been eating KFC my whole life." I went to all-you-can-eat pizza place, and there was 2 400-pound blokes, and they had a pizza tray piled up 6. Oh my god, with crust, and they were still eating when I left. That sounds like America.
America. Fuck
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Missouri, still to this day, and you can look it up. Their average age is 45. The average male in the state of Missouri dies at the age of 45 because of complications from obesity. It's one of my favorite factoids. I read it in good old National Geographic a couple years ago. And then the BBC had a story about how Americans, about how, like, in this town in Missouri, people are not living to be 45.
Right anymore.
I don't think I know what a mukbang is. Would anybody like to pick that one up?
Feeding your face with ungodly amounts of food
Yeah, on YouTube or some TikTok
for
or
the
whatever.
clicks and views. And
Yeah.
it came out of Korea, where tiny humans eat amazing amounts of food.
Mhm.
But in this country, we don't
Tiny
move,
humans.
so they are. They're shorter than I am. There was, oh my god, I just watched an interview about this woman. I'm gonna forget her name, but to this day is like our age and weighs 77 pounds because she grew up in North Korea. She doesn't do mukbangs, but she's Asian.
It's imagine overindulgence. Somebody sitting with enough KFC for 6 people and they eat it by themselves.
Yeah, no, don't do that
Oh,
shit.
it makes my stomach hurt. And you know what?
Ugh.
I'm ghetto. Like I like KFC. I like Popeyes. Like I am not like
KFC.
I do not discriminate.
Fried chicken, come to my face.
You know what's sad? Like at up the street from my house, we have Vaughn's, which is a Safeway. I I eat their fried chicken. I don't discriminate. I'm not a snob. I don't care. It's
No,
bomb. It is bomb.
I had some Albertsons fried spicy chicken today, so I can't complain.
I go off. And I don't care. I learned that from my dad. Like if you like something, do not have shame. He was from the South. He was an extremely dark black man and he loved watermelon. And he would grab me and be like, "No, you grab that effing watermelon, you hold your head high. I don't care about the stereotypes. These taste good."
I actually watched something about that one time where like it went around asking people of color like why you like that food? Well, yes. Why didn't you order it? And he's like, because I didn't want to be a stereotype. And it's like,
Oh no, not here.
yeah.
I was raised
like-
with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's like I as privileged person, if you will, like I've never had to like not eaten something because of a stereotype before, and it amazes me,
I first off,
maybe mayonnaise.
Kilroy, this is so true. Supermarket fried chicken is underrated. I go off at the one by my house, especially when they catch it fresh out the fryer. Like it's fresh fried chicken. Are you kidding me? Like how could you go wrong?
Save more fried chicken, forget about it.
I learned early on as a kid at Thanksgiving that I do not like that over full feeling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like feeling so because I have breathing issues. I don't like being so full that I'm like, I don't like that. So I don't
And I
stuff.
prefer to be an emotional undereater than emotional eater.
Unfortunately, though, I learned that from my father. He would starve himself, and I hung out with him all the time. And as a kid, I wouldn't say anything, but as an adult, I look at him and I'm like, "Bro, do you eat?"
Yes, when we feel like it, don't shame us for eating when we choose.
I heard this crazy thing. I don't know if it's true, okay? But I heard that the 3 square of meals was created from colonialism because when they went to Africa, the Africans only ate when they were hungry. And the British people were like, "Nah, man, nah. Like we eat 3 squares."
We have tea, we have breakfast, and we have supper.
I don't know if
Yep, kiddos.
I don't know if it's true, but like I see crazy videos on Twitter, or like with the problem is with today's misinformation, someone will grab something and I don't know if they're just being emotional or if it really happened. And I don't feel like dredging up the past is going to do anything but except for make us hate each other even more when we already do. But I'm canceled, so what do I know?
Pirate.
I don't even know what the thing was until later in life. Maybe sad. It was so stupid. Who doesn't like fried chicken and watermelon? That's what I'm saying. Like
The chickens.
I grew up Hispanic as well, so I eat rice like it's going out of style. I'm obsessed with rice. Like I don't play when it comes to food. I'm obsessed with cornbread. Right now, there is a half-eaten pan of cornbread in my kitchen because I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, stop making me guilting me into not feeding my sourdough and cooking with it.
The British do not like schedules for things, generally speaking. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's.
But they have the best train schedule. If you want your trains to be on time, you go to the Brits.
I always ask for historical reference. No, 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 that I agree. And this is the problem because I'm on Black Twitter and sometimes I don't know if it's just more like it's different when you're just talking to somebody about life. And then when people talk about history, I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation because we all have skewed views.
Did you say Black Twitter?
Yeah, it's basic like there's gay Twitter, Black Twitter. It's literally in premises. It's like um or like trans Twitter. You know the best way to find out if you're on trans Twitter? Do you know how?
Huh.
You're already on
I
it.
It's Dylan Mulvaney is
You,
not.
I know you are. I
Dylan
know you
Mulvaney
are.
doesn't wash my feed. No, I can't.
But that's what I'm
I-
saying. Like if it's on your feed all the time, that's what it is. And like so in the
Oh,
African American community, they call it Black Twitter. And so I just say that because
okay.
I follow like just like I was showing you Chasing LA yesterday. Like I follow some of them on Twitter because they are just drama. You know, like they go back and forth. Like
You just see like black.twitter.com. Like, oh god.
no, it's just Twitter. It's just regular Twitter. But it's it's human beings they need to feel different. So we segregate ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like I hang out with Africans, they segregate themselves depending on where they're from in Africa.
Isn't it so funny though? Like at the same time, as much as we like to segregate ourselves, we as humans also like to fit in together.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a weird contradiction. You know, it's
It is. You know what it's different though, like because here when Africans come to America, you know what? I actually work with somebody who's from Palestine and someone who's from Israel.
oh
Best of friends. And they
wow,
always jokingly say, like, if we lived over there, we'd hate each other. But here, like, what do we have to fight about?
right.
They have more in common because they're from the same area. And this area is foreign to them. You know what I'm saying? So they bond together because and they're literally brown and white. Like you could literally look at them and be like, okay, so
That is
it's
not
all
a trip.
yeah.
Like from
Oh,
the
yeah.
same area, yet they look so different.
My father had a friend who was from North Carolina, and they would always jokingly say that if they lived in the South, they wouldn't even look or talk to each other, but they were best friends here in California because they were both good old boys from the South. I went to visit my grandmother's friends. We got delayed driving there. They put all the food away. They thought we wouldn't lunch because it was after 2. Oh my gosh. Now that's great. The Japanese do train schedules the best. They even have a late. Okay. So I know I'm a homer because I'm an American, but if you ever go to Reno, Nevada, their trains are it's the only place I've ever been where their buses are dead to rights.
I'll
Their
be there
bus
next week.
Oh my gosh. On Virginia Street, at least it's free. Their buses are unreal. It's the only
Interesting.
my reference is 13 years old. Well, how old is my son? 13. My reference is 15 years old.
I'm sure they're. I mean,
But I was
it's a
really impressed. As someone who used to take the bus everywhere, I was really impressed with Reno, Nevada.
nice, nice.
I stopped at a restaurant, wanted some soup, and they had there in a hot bar. They wouldn't give me any because it was 2:05. Lunch was over. Oh my gosh. Here in America, they'll sell you anything. They'll sell you bad food, yesterday's food, like except for the McDonald's by my house. Like, let's be real, okay? I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'm trying to move away from my Karen label. I'm trying to grow up, okay? I know that the world does not run and start on my orders. But if you have a sign that says we serve breakfast all day, and I walk inside and you say we stop serving breakfast at 10:30, I'm gonna look at you like you have lost your brains. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'm trying to be Darren, not Karen. I actually knew someone named Darren who was married to a woman named Karen.
This one time I was out camping with a lady friend of mine, and we hadn't eaten real, we've eaten camping food for a while, but we were out there for a few days, and we passed this. We're packed up and we're heading home, and it's a fairly long drive, 6 hours or so, and we passed this one diner. Yeah, it's a very, very small diner, very mom and pop looking. There's like maybe two tables in there, and we pull up to it, and the dude is with his wife locking it up. And we get out, we're like, oh, and we just kind of get back on our. We don't even talk to them, we just kind of get back in there, and they walk up to us, and they it's like, can we help you? I'm like, well, we were just stopping for we were hungry, if you see your clothes, sorry, we'll move on. Like, no, they opened back up the shop for us, and it's like, we can't do our full menu, but we could make you some sandwiches. We can fire up the grill, make you some eggs or something like that. And I was like, yes, this place is awesome. So
That's
now,
oh,
like every time we were in the area, we'd make it a point to stop there. And
I miss small business like that. I miss small businesses like that would go out of their way to get your business.
yeah,
It seems to me like people don't. It actually is an issue with me. I feel like people don't care anymore in this world, so it's made me jaded. Do you think? What do you think that is? Am I being sensitive, or do people treat their jobs differently? Like even if I'm having a bad day, I still bite my teeth and I'm nice to every single person at my job, and I'm like. That's why when they see me in this setting, they're like, "Oh, William's a completely different person."
I think, well, with so much of the industry today being, service industry and very low paid service industry, people just don't care, I think. But, like when people are paid what they're worth and or it's their own business, I think they're obviously going to be a lot more friendly, even if their client or customer is pushing some boundaries.
I agree with you. I go out of my way to support small businesses, and the pandemic more than anything else showed that to me because my town, like, let's say there was 15 businesses that I used to go to, only 4 of them are still around. Like COVID killed small business in my town. And the sad thing is, do you know who owns more real estate in my town more than anything else?
Hmm.
Starbucks.
Really?
I swear, they're like McDonald's. McDonald's is a real estate company.
You're
They
absolutely
they
right.
do not care about food. They own real estate, and I swear Starbucks is not too far behind them. They own everything in my town. If any business goes out, they put a Starbucks there.
And it's weird, like, just kind of thought of it, like during the pandemic, I'm sure we all lost like, favorite restaurants and things like that. But like one of the favorite styles of restaurant and types of restaurant that my kiddo and I really liked going to, like, and I recently was able to, recently before the pandemic, introduce him was Mongolian barbecues. And they all got tanked in this area and are, and then like the surrounding counties, I can't even find one that's even reopened from the pandemic because they're
Same here.
just all the
Same
food's
here.
just in front of everybody, and there's it's
We have
so
only,
delicious, but I miss it.
it's so funny you'd say that. We only have one place that survived that has a Benihana style place like that. Only one
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
town. Everything else has gone under.
So sad. And so
That,
many of those are mom and pop style,
oh yeah, that's why there's a donut shop up the street from my house where um I ditched in like the 5th or 6th grade and went to this donut shop. And I remember walking in and seeing this teenager with her hair to the side. Um, she still works there. She's now the owner. Her
Oh, yeah.
mom, her mom was the owner, and now she's the owner. And literally, we have watched each other grow up. She's 10 years, 15 years older than me. And um, whenever, and of course, she's open at 4 in the morning. So she's like, she's better than McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? But
For real.
I still go out of my way to go there.
Yeah, and I'll take a small, mom and pop donut shop, over a Krispy Kreme any day.
Oh, any day. Phoenix, are you tapping out? Oh, you're muted.
No, I'm just picking up and being an asshole.
Oh, okay. We're just making
Would you see
sure.
Soon, but close, but soon.
Oh no, I'm
We're almost
gonna.
at 4 hours, so we're
yeah.
almost at all tapping out time. I think I can make it a little bit longer, but
No, I'm gonna cut this off at 4 hours. I don't want this to end in a fight. I'm so traumatized from watching. You guys think I'm playing? Like, if I spend my time with you, like, I think my time is valuable. And so, even if I watch a YouTube video, I'm spending my time with you.
yes,
Aw.
pet my pussy. Lords of Acid, the pussy
You officially,
song.
you officially become Mrs. Slocum from.
Yep.
Are you being served?
Yes. Will you please come pet my pussy, please? I mean, my kitty cat, Loki. He's very furry and very fluffy and very fancy.
It's funny you'd say that, Mark. Our government tried, but our like big business literally took over small business here in America.
It did.
And it like Starbucks, you can't compete with money. Like I learned that when I was a kid. I went and campaigned for the Surfriders Foundation to stop oil drilling in the northern slope of Alaska, not realizing that Exxon had more money than any company on earth. I was a kid. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The fact that a pandemic got politicized, it was a real downfall for us here. Like when we can't agree that a virus is killing people, and yeah,
it's all and that's the problem. I got hosed one time on a stream because I said, why do we make everything political? And somebody who hates me said everything is political. I don't think so. It doesn't have to be.
it shouldn't be.
No, it doesn't, but it's hard when it's difficult to tease between propaganda, mainstream media, government lies, and what's real. It's
I
hard
agree
to
with
figure
you.
out.
It's just getting harder to navigate.
Yeah.
Especially considering so many, administrations at the time, and not just United States. There was a lot of pretty radical right wing and anti science all over the planet, and it just didn't bode well because their priorities were not with prevention. It's more of a what can we do after the fact.
There was an African doctor that got paid. She was on Trump's like administrative thing, and when she got exposed for being a quack, it kind of reminded me of like and every time I tried to put one up, they gave me a copyright strike. But there are commercials with doctors like, you should try these cool menthols. I'm a doctor, and these will save your life.
Oh, back in the 40s and 50s, do you want to not gain too much weight during pregnancy? You should smoke Marlboro Lights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's quite a few times in history, unfortunately, where they co-opted science and scientists and made things that weren't necessarily true to the public, smoking being okay,
Yeah.
lead being okay in gasoline and things
Or
like
the
that.
Tuskegee experiments in syphilis.
Horrible.
Talking about we're gonna remember folks on Memorial Day, all the folks who died because they had untreated syphilis in the Tuskegee experiments.
Literally, we're like, here, go home, take this, go home.
Right. We're just monitoring you. There is nothing wrong. You're not going to lose your brain from syphilis.
To be fair, to quote my brother who was a Marine, like I went off on his beach one day and he looked at me and he's like, bro, I've been poked with so much stuff I didn't even know what it was. He was like, I've been waterboarded 6 different times. Like he went down the list of all these horrible things that had happened to him. And I'm like, oh, you're selling the Marines, dude. Like you're
Oh man. Let me tell you, like before we got deployed to Iraq, we had to get a whole bunch of vaccinations, one of which was the smallpox vaccination. which is a very annoying vaccination if anyone's had it before, where they essentially give you a little bit of smallpox on your arm,
Oh,
and it itches so bad, but you can't scratch it. And so they gave everybody in our unit that, and everybody went through it, but for some reason, I never reacted. So either that means I got it a long, long time ago, I never remembered.
wow.
Possible, I suppose.
No, you're too young. You didn't have
Yeah.
smallpox.
or just something happened, and
you're not a good
so
responder.
so what they had to do then was the protocol for was to give you 5 times as many injections in the same area, which is bad enough because now it's going to itch 5 times as much.
Yikes.
But by that time, I was already in country.
Yeah.
So I am in 130-degree temperature, sweating, and have smallpox on my arm. And if you scratch it, you then can spread it. So if you scratch it and then go take a pee, or
your wiener itches like holy hell now
you can give smallpox to your
wiener
junk.
No, it's wiener pox. We have invented something now.
Wiener pox, yes. There's no M-pox. We have wiener pox around here. We get wiener pox.
Oh my! Yet another reason to man.
Keep sewing and don't scratch.
No, after this conversation, like tomorrow, I'm gonna walk out the house in a clean suit, and I do. I have the literal underneath clean suit and everything. The 3M suit, the whole suit. I have a couple of them. So bring your chemical warfare happens. I literally will be the warlord that survives.
I still have a nuclear, biological, or an NBC suit.
Nope.
My service, yep. And I got the mask stored.
But yep, keep that shit.
They have that. It's so sad that we're bragging about that. Like as an American,
we're flexing. I'm like, I'll survive more disasters than you can, honey. Bring it on.
No, I thought about that. Like when the power went out, I was like, I feel sorry for all my neighbors who, because I have relationships with the people around here, like we outnumber them is what I'm trying to say. Like I feel sorry for the people who haven't made connections. Like it showed me like we live so much off technology, we don't realize how different we are from people 150 years ago when they didn't have electrics like we do. When people actually had to deal with their neighbors, when people actually had to have relationships with the people around them and sustain those relationships because they were helping you just as much as you were helping them.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, Kara, you crack me up.
That is so great.
Don't get wiener pogs. Wash your hands. Quote of the evening. Wiener pox sounds like something in a Monty Python movie too.
It does.
I was wiener pox upon you, sir.
Or the Canadian one. These are the days we know. These are the days we know. Yeah, wiener pox. Don't touch your wiener if you got the pox.
Yet another thing to ask somebody, like, do you know what's so funny? I can't even forget what it was, and it was like the most scary thing on earth a couple months ago. What was they were trying to blame gay people for that disease again? What was it called?
Oh, monkeypox. Did they turn to mpox because monkey is racist? Against black people, I guess. I don't get it.
Okay.
Let me tell you, if there was there is certain stigmas about gay men in general. Let me tell you who stopped having sex. Every gay man on earth was like, nope. They were checking each other for pox. They're like, monkeypox scared the hell out of the population around here, at least. Motherfuckers, everybody was like, nope.
That was actually it took me, I don't know, embarrassingly long to like realize. Like I was going around like going, okay, monkeypox is a thing, and I thought it was good. I had no idea it was being primarily spread through the gay community and things like that, or at least being like heavily spread through that. And I was like, I had no idea. Like
it's because men like to have sex. Let's be real. Men are hornballs. And that's not even the stereotype. Like, and so of course they're gonna they're going to be the first ones to find. Well, it's not a stereotype if it's true.
Right.
But of course, they're always the first ones to find out because they're sexually active. There was women who got it as well, you know.
There is, and we had a case of like kids, but it was like a hot second of like, oh my god, your kid might have monkeypox, and we're like, yeah, that's not how that's not the demographic. It almost is like, are gay men a testing ground for new biological weapons because they can't reproduce and they're prolific?
Oh, you're getting in Bobby Hemmett territory. I watched
I
someone
don't know who
talk
that
about-
is, but I've got questions now.
There's there's a guy I used to obsessively watch back in the day, and he basically brings every religion together, and he's an African American man who he basically was who's the gay frog guy?
Pepe?
No, Alex Jones.
Okay.
They're making the frog gay.
I was thinking about like, are we talking about like a gay French guy, and that's not very PC of you? And
Do not be mean to gay French people. Do you have a problem with French people? Skits, are you English or what?
No, croissant,
didn't know
no
you-
croissant for you.
I didn't know you were on the other side of the channel. No, I can't remember what the hell I was going to say.
Alex
About a
Jones
frog.
and gay frogs.
Alex Jones.
Bobby Hemmett was basically the black Alex Jones. He was Alex Jones before Alex Jones, and back in the VHS tape days, like Bobby Hemmett was about spirituality. He was about like bringing African spirituality. It was in the 90s. It was the big push, you know.
Oh, when folks were like, we need our spiritual home because the gods that we're supposed to worship were not ours, and it's like
Well,
good omens. It's like you can't ignore the old gods.
Exactly. But if you like his whole premise basically was like he was more on the side of history is a lie. And like
Yeah,
like
it's written by the
always
winners, and if you
Yeah,
got the bigger
exactly.
win, then you
like he would go to
Right.
Egypt and be like, this is a picture of a black man on the wall. Like there were no white pharaohs here. And like we think as human beings, and I'm quoting Star Trek, but we think of life as moments. We don't think of it as the bigger picture. So
Mhm.
in our life, when you think back, you think of, oh, that moment, but you know, life is never ending. It just keeps going. And Egypt stood for like 11,000, 10,000 years. Alexa, how old is the United States of America?
300
The United
years.
States of America was founded 246 years ago on July 4th, 1776. However,
Alexa,
the American...
Thank you.
However, we've had
You are so very
we've
welcome.
run people over for a few years longer than that, like since 1600. So like
So my
give
whole
or
point
take
is
30 years.
we think on scales, on these smaller scales of 200 something years, not realizing these people stood for thousands. Look at the Roman Empire. It was sacked and it still came back. Istanbul is Constantinople. Istanbul. Great song.
Those Turks, it's nobody's business but
We
the
lie to each other about
Turks.
history, you know.
Tiny Toons is where yeah.
I'm all in. Kermit's gay. No.
I'm all Kermit's gay.
What?
No, I'm saying
Kermit the
Alex
Frog
is
here.
crazy. And there's a YouTuber I watch where he constantly has that like he has a button on a sound card. It says they're turning the frogs gay. Or whatever he said. 1537 with Quebec, so US should be a little older. Vikings found I agree. And if you asked Bobby Hemmett, he would say the Africans found America. I saw that North America had more people than Europe at the time. I love quoting this because I lived there also, but like when Lewis and Clark came to the Willamette River, I think it was one of them wrote in his journal, there are more people in what now we consider Oregon than all of America.
And they were all Mexican. I mean, actually not all, but
Like
there was
he,
a lot of Mexicans. Americans.
They came to because they were discovering America. They were literally just walking across. But
We
like
discovered America.
when they came to the Willamette River to the valley, they were like, "Holy crap!" Like there's a whole nation of people here who literally pointed them to the freaking took skits of. Hold on, let me make you big.
Oh God! No, not me.
They're making the frogs gay.
Oh God! Oh, Kermit's gay, but he's not trans. He's just gay. Kermit's
Just gay.
He's
Hey,
just
you
gay.
know what? I've dated. Do you know what Miss Piggy will do that to you? I've dated Miss Piggy.
Right? She'll be like, "Did you get your vaginoplasty?"
She'll make you jump ship and become a full pirate. I love that. I think so too, Waterday. The mountains in Central States would have taken a lot of it's I love that quote from the Lewis and Clark. I was kind of obsessed with the Lewis and Clark expedition. Rainbow
Oh,
connection.
That is, oh God. Were they grooming us? Oh my, shit.
I almost got in a fist fight with somebody who said in public, they were like, "That's God's rainbow." I was like, "The rainbow's gay." He did not think it was funny. And if I was not intimidated, he would have tried to kill me.
No, but that was Alex Stein just had this skit about taking his dog to the groomer and was like, "Can you make my dog lesbian because you're a groomer?"
And we're gonna see. You said that, and now it makes my pictures relevant. So hold on, let me go in the group. I took some pictures and they're funny. No, first I took one picture and then Isaiah was like, "Sir, you are driving. Hand me your phone, sir." He was like, "Who is raising me? Who is?"
I now have gay Kermit in my Google search.
Oh, you don't even want to see what my Google search is. If the FBI ever comes to my house,
use Brave and pick a different browser. Speaking of that, what's Opera? My computer came with Opera on it, and I'm afraid to use it. Like, what is this operating browser?
I hear okay things about it, but I don't use it.
Okay, right. It's Google and Brave in my house.
Yeah. I use Google Chrome, and I got Tor for my dark web.
Your special needs. I have a Tor.
This hurts my feelings. When Europeans found Australia, they recorded it as terra nullius, no humans.
Which that was a lie. There was a whole population. Yeah. We wouldn't have got the. Oh, I'm not going to even pretend that I know the dance of the word dance. I'm too imperious for that.
To Twitter. So the other day I was driving to the ranch like I always do, and my son took these pictures. Okay, boomer.
Hit the share screen button.
Share screen.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom.
No, I'm not. I've never.
I was thinking about.
I'm sorry.
If you see this on Twitter, I'll put, "Excuse me, sir, your bus has arrived."
Oh my God.
Yeah, grooming. Are we pets or like kids? Because one's okay and one's not.
I mean, the important thing is do they have free candy?
Oh, that means that's kids, and that's a no-go. No.
Holy cow, that sticker at the bottom, that's the original Ford sticker in the truck. I didn't even know it was still there. That's cool. It's still there. Wow.
Those stickers looks like pets. Do you want your dog to be lesbian? Go here.
Yeah, Mark, it makes me want to cry. Do you know, I actually got in a fight with someone in the atheist community because they were kind of an apologist, and I would just come with facts, and I would just Google things and be like, "Well, this happened in Australia and this year," and they now hate me. So it's reaching that time. Yeah, honestly, it makes me want to cry. Water Night, like Australia, and they have pictures. They took pictures. It was the British who took pictures, like, of people fully chained and everything. It's just, That's another thing. Like, I'm subscribed to the Museum of Tolerance on Twitter, and every day they show someone who passed away in the Holocaust. Gosh, I always end this on such a positive note.
Eat some
Kevin,
snacks. I
Kevin,
left my
buddy.
snack.
So, does anybody have anything they'd like to show?
Sunday night, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Stitch and bitch, show up or don't show up. It's okay.
Let me
I don't know.
add some spice on that. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Show up to the Phoenix Electra channel. They'll be rumbling, they'll be stumbling, they'll be stitching, and they'll be bitching. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Oh God, I might have to clip that because that might be my new grumble. Oh shit, I'm gonna actually have to learn how to cut stuff because that was the best chill ever. Thanks, folks.
I used to be a shiller, and then I lost my sojo, but it's slowly coming back.
I still love your godless sewing sign out that we just don't hear enough of anymore.
Don't rock out with your clocks out.
I need to revise it. I'm gonna take it back to the laboratory because it was so original. Because I was in a museum of stiff human beings, and I am literally a bull in a china shop, like literally. So they would be like, "Oh, we're having a peace summit next week," and blah blah blah. And then I would be like, "Godless sewing at the Godless Sewing channel, Godless Sewing, Godless Sewing." It works. Advertising works.
It does.
It got me.
Shilling for friends is great.
Do you have anything you'd like to shill?
Thanks for having me on, brother.
You're always welcome here. So, I will be here next week. I have a video out right now. I'm looking at my pile of fabric, so I'm thinking about all kinds of crazy things to make. But I'm probably gonna be making overalls. So, like I always, you know what? Hold on.
Stay tuned for overalls.
Hold on. What did I used to say? I don't even remember. How's it going? I'm Godless Sewing. Go subscribe to the Godless Sewing channel. Don't forget I have a video out right now where I'm talking about, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a new patch that I put on an old coat. Let's have a talk real quick. Are you tired of the same old YouTubers? Are you tired of the same old gruff? Come on down to the Godless Sewing channel. Come on down. It's nothing but hugs, love, and talking about things that, that don't matter, because we're solving the world's problems one bobbin at a time.
I'm gonna pull out to
I tried.
I was doing so good.
Mark, Kilroy, Waternay, Alibaba. It's great having you guys. I will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be on Phoenix's channel next week. See you guys later, and don't forget, rock out with your clock out.